nobody cares about because
And nobody talks about, yeah.
and nobody talks about because she's Donald Trump's wife. So how good can she be?
And she doesn't even care.
She doesn't, which is great. Anyway, so I'm glad that happened. I'm glad she had a good first week. All right, so GDP, Rob, is a point higher than Barack Obama said it would never be able to reach, right? He said it would never be able to reach 3. We're up to 4, maybe even 5 coming soon.
They're saying some say 5.5.
How about that?
It's great news, and I'll tell you, we've talked about this before. There are a lot of signs pointing to a strong 2026 when it comes to our economy. There was frustration clearly last November during the off-cycle elections in places like Virginia, New Jersey, and New York City, and it gave Democrats this talking point about affordability. But I'll tell you that Donald Trump has said from the start of his term that getting that big, beautiful bill, which he's rebranded the Working Families Tax Cut, into place by July 4th was essential so that all of the government agencies could use the latter part of 2025 to make the changes to the law and that the American people would start to see some of the benefits in 2026. And so some of those benefits will come in terms of your tax refund. Other benefits will come in terms of companies making investments here in our country. And then there will be things like the GDP increase, which are a natural outflow of the success that we're seeing from the Trump policies. And so I'm not particularly surprised by this. I think that one thing that has me a little bit nervous is that the Democrats are once again here in Washington, D.C. playing games with government funding. And there's one thing that we know that could hurt the economy, and that's if the government shuts down, which it is partially shut down today. I should note, Vic, you may not have noticed, but there are 6 government agencies that don't have funding because of what the Democrats did. It seems that they'll be able to fund 5 of those 6. The Department of Homeland Security is the last one. But any kind of disruption in terms of what the Trump administration is trying to do, not good for the economy and certainly not good for the sovereignty of the American people.
Rob, I try to equate what President Trump and his administration is doing as hospital triage, okay? And it's because he came into office with a patient that was sick. And what he's trying to do right now is stop the bleeding. And then, and after that, then the economy, and by the way, even though he's just trying to stop the bleeding right now, like shutting the border and many other things like that, it's still, the economy is growing just based on what he's done in this first year, but it's not done. He has a lot of work to do because there were 4 years of being injured, by this country being injured, and he's just trying to fix it.
He is. There was significant damage done to our country, not just on the economy, but across the board. And he is going through problem by problem, and he is the problem-solving president. And there is a lack of patience that I think a lot of people, particularly those in left-leaning media outlets, don't have a lot of patience for Donald Trump to begin with. And so when it requires some time to clean up these messes that Joe Biden left, and by the way, he's still cleaning up messes from President Obama's 8 years in office. And so let's not forget some of the consequences that we're still dealing with from that term, particularly when it comes to some of the foreign policy challenges that surfaced over those 8 years. And so, yes, Donald Trump is doing that, precisely what you said, Ken. And I think that when it comes to the economy, yes, this is going to be the number one issue. There are so many factors that in some cases are out of the president's control. For instance, the cost of healthcare. How can you put the blame on Donald Trump for the cost of healthcare when it was the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, passed by Barack Obama, that created this mess that we're in right now? And so I don't expect that a lot of them will give him that kind of fair judgment, but this is what he's up against.
And I just like to say, we talked about this extensively last week with Dr. Randy Tobler, that I don't think it matters how much, I mean, it does, but what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter how much healthcare costs if healthcare sucks.
Yeah.
Right? And now
exactly.
And now you got nurses who want to give, any kind of MAGA patient a lethal dose of something. Well, what's the difference how much it costs if they're just trying to kill you anyway?
That's right. I mean, yes. Wow. There's a lot to say there.
Yeah.
Say there, Vic. Right. And I'd say one of the things that we should keep in mind is that Donald Trump, in some cases, just cannot wave a magic wand and fix everything. When it comes to healthcare, now there are some things that Republicans in Congress can do. They can take the outline that Donald Trump provided last month, and they could turn that into legislation and actually pass it. They can also pass that, by the way, through the reconciliation process, so you wouldn't have to worry about Democrats in the U.S. Senate in particular. And so I think that the American people want to see some action out of Washington, D.C. This Congress still has a lot of work to do when it comes to confirming the president's appointees. The House has more work to be done when it comes to enacting his agenda and codifying a lot of the executive orders. And so let's not just rest on our laurels here and go back to the campaign trail in 2026, but actually do some work here in Washington, D.C.
Boy, no kidding. You're right. So Don Lemon, we talk about all the time on this show, Rob, that when the news media outlets outright lie, there's no protection for us. There's protection for them. It's called the First Amendment, and we never want to trample on that. But I think Don Lemon has really put us in a squeeze here, right? Freedom of the press versus
Right.
freedom of religion.
Yeah, except what I'll say, Vic, is he was not acting as a member of the press. For there are a number of reasons why I could list here. First of all, Don Lemon was involved with the activists who were staging this protest beforehand and admitted so on video. He talked about the operation that he was going to be participating in. Second, he was not wearing any sort of press jacket or press badge, or hadn't secured prior approval from the city's church to enter. And when he was asked to leave, he refused to leave. His behavior inside the church was not consistent with what you would expect from a journalist. I mean, he was clearly trying to bait the pastor and some of the parishioners and get them agitated, and which some of them did get agitated, as I probably would myself if he was in a situation like that. And so I do think that Don Lemon crossed the line here, and I think he should be held accountable. And then when it comes to actually those who are trying to worship peacefully, they absolutely have a right to participate in their service without being faced with these threats from the 40 or so people who entered that church. The children felt terrorized. A woman broke her arm. I mean, you could go down the list of the things that we all saw with our own eyes on that video. And so I truly hope that people understand that Don Lemon was not acting in a responsible way that most journalists would.
And I hope that most Americans see how serious this really is, Rob. Because if he's not incarcerated for this, if he's not held accountable for this, it's going to happen over and over. And no longer will people feel comfortable sitting in their church pew and be able to freely express their religious beliefs.
That's also my concern, that if this becomes normalized, that you'll be in a situation where I mean, will churches now have to start, installing some security and checkpoints? And I mean, there probably already are churches that employ this kind of, because we've seen shootings at churches. Let's face it. I mean, that churches are not safe spaces where individuals, can worship without any fear. I mean, there's certainly situations even in our recent history where we've seen that. And so in this particular case, though, I'd say one of the arguments that the Don Lemon defenders are making is that he spent 30 years in journalism and all those years as an anchor at CNN and yada, yada, yada. Anybody can have a phone and be a journalist in this day and age. And so I think that if Don Lemon is going to try to hold himself up in some special mantle, then he's got to make a stronger defense than certainly what I'm hearing so far. And yes, it's about time that this Department of Justice made an example of somebody like a Don Lemon.
To Ken's point, people don't know because Rachel Maddow gets on MS Now and says she's afraid she's going to get rounded up and put in jail.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous statement. All right, let's move on. So I'm really intrigued, Rob, about something that's on your Twitter feed this morning, and it's a book about the subway vigilante Bernie Goetz. What's going on all these years later?
Yes. Well, as the two of you know, I have the good pleasure of going on CNN usually on Friday mornings, and I sit on the panel with a guy by the name of Elliot Williams. And Elliot wrote this book about this 1984 shooting involving Bernard Goetz in the New York City subway on the number 2 train. And there were 4 black teenagers who the facts are in dispute as to whether or not they demanded money or they asked him for money. But Goetz felt that crime was so rampant and out of control in New York at the time that he would take matters into his own hands, and he shot them. Left one of them paralyzed. One of them has since died, and two of them are the other two are still living. And so all these years later, Elliot goes back and looks at what New York City was like at that time. And I think that, I'm glad that you brought this up, because Caroline Leavitt is celebrating the fact that crime rates in this country are at their lowest point since 1900. Just a remarkable accomplishment. Again, something that Donald Trump has been, seeking to solve with a reinforcement in our law enforcement. And so it's just a reminder of how bad things could get under Democrat rule. And I'm not saying that things are pretty in every location. I mean, I'm sure in St. Louis and elsewhere, you still have plenty of crime that shouldn't happen. But certainly, things are improving with this administration, and contrast that with the scene in 1984 with Bernard Goetz, and it's a stark example.
Well, I lived there when that was going on, and he was like Charles Bronson, man. We didn't know what he even looked like, but he was the subway vigilante, and everybody was like, yeah, let's be vigilantes. Matter of fact, the picture that you have is on the Twitter feed is Bernard Goetz next to a guardian angel.
Guardian angel. Well, and that's what Elliot said. That case launched the careers of so many different people, including Rudy Giuliani,
right,
Al Sharpton, and who else if not Curtis Sliwa, who was the founder of the Guardian Angels and ran for mayor in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob Bluey, president and executive editor at the Daily Signal, also at the Heritage Foundation. Great stuff, Rob. We'll talk next week, my friend.
Thanks, Vic. Talk soon.
All right.
Take care, Rob.
Hey, coming up next, the biggest crap of all crap. I shouldn't fix the
giant
game.
crap.
I shouldn't say that, because he's playing That's Crap to try to win a copy of our home game, so I shouldn't sway the judge.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't really, yeah.
So let me retract my statement, but we'll let you decide, all right?
But it has to be crap, though, or
crap.
not.
That's right. And it's next, 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Say it with me. Dice Broadway.
On News Talk STL.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Yes, I just want you to know what a breath of fresh air you people are.
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 2 times every weekend on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. You could also reach Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Now, the Free Market Minute, brought to you by the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University.
Hi, it's Mike Ferguson from The Morning Show, and I'm here with Dr. Grant Black. And Grant, capitalism, that is increasingly under attack. But why is a free market system so important?
The simple answer, society is much better off because of free markets. Free markets allow individuals and business owners to freely choose what to consume, how to save, where to live and do business, what to produce, and how to protect our valuable resources, and so much more. And this can all happen without requiring heavy government interference. In a nutshell, free markets empower people to live their lives the way they choose. And this makes all our lives better.
The John W. Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University fosters and examines market-oriented approaches to economic and social issues. To learn more, visit hammondinstitute.org.
If you find yourself feeling out of place in the world, it's comforting to know conservative values haven't been abandoned everywhere.
Thanks for being my voice in all this.
This is News Talk STL.
There are people out there that feel the way that I feel and say what I say.
Welcome home. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Yakov Smirnov, and you're listening to Vic and Ken on Vic Porcelli Show on the News Talk STL.
On the news, on the news talk.
The news talk.
Truck in here?
Yeah.
That you're playing?
Yeah.
Perfect that you played it because you know the line busted down on Bourbon Street.
Oh, yeah.
The anniversary of that was yesterday. In 1970.
Okay.
So you just happened to do that
out of the blue.
Telepathy.
Yeah, telepathy. That's it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That guy there is Ken Williams, and it's time for everybody's favorite game show. That's crap.
Welcome to That's Crap. It's the game where we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. Here's the host of That's Crap, Vic Porcelli.
All right, thank you, Jim Hodge. The studio audience, hey, look, Ken Williams fan club up there in the balcony. And as Jim said, it's where we find out whether it's the truth or if that's crap. We're playing for a copy of our home game, easiest game in the world to win. All you got to do is tell the truth, and you win. And none of the Democrats seem to win. It's just crazy. So our contestant today is Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut, who I believe was our contestant last Monday.
Probably.
Because I'm not swaying the judges.
Yeah,
here,
don't
okay?
do that again.
Okay, stop yelling at me.
Judges are sensitive.
Yesterday on Fox News Sunday, Shannon Bream had Chris Murphy on, and we're going to let you hear a little bit of it. Ken, put 60 seconds on the clock. Senator Murphy, good luck.
Come on, we're still pretending that ICE is going after dangerous people. They aren't. Right now, 70% of the people that they are detaining have absolutely no criminal record. What is happening?
DHS says 70% of those they're arresting, and that's their number, do have some kind of criminal record.
What is happening in Minnesota right now is a dystopia. ICE is tear gassing elementary schools. It is disappearing legal residents into cars. It is murdering American citizens. ICE is making this country less safe, not more safe today. That is an emergency. That's why today 60% of the American people vehemently disagree with what ICE is doing, and we have to address that emergency right now. The Constitution is being abandoned by this administration right now as we speak, and so our focus over the next 2 weeks has to be reining in a lawless and immoral immigration agency in this nation. That's work that we have to do in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully it's work that Republicans and Democrats will be able to agree on.
Ken, have you seen any stories, even in crazy liberal newspapers or online, of ICE tear gassing elementary schools?
He might as well say they're going into schools and shooting kids.
He just stopped short of saying that. I mean, he took a number, he took a statistic that 70% of the people that ICE are going after are indeed criminals, and just flip the stats around and say, you know what, I'm going to say 70% aren't. And nobody's going to notice. Guess what? Shannon Bream noticed.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is not unique to any individual Democrat. They're doing it. They're all doing this.
He just happened to be the one sending the message yesterday.
Just yesterday, that was him. But Vic, you can open up any video of a Democrat right now, and they're doing the exact same thing because, Vic, they don't have anything to talk about. They have nothing to benefit this nation.
You're right.
And so they have to go, well, see, they're killing kids. They are killing kids on the streets of Minneapolis.
Because you know why? They just pile on. They just keep getting, just say, don't worry. Remember we talked about that? Just say what you want about Trump. It's fine. Everybody will back you up. Hollywood will back you up. Everybody will back you up. And it just gets harder and harder for them to lie because they're getting so ridiculous. So here's my suggestion. Let's make a decision, and then let's listen to that clip again, okay?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, Chris, but that's crap. All right, Ken, if we can stomach it, well, let's hear it again.
Come on, we're still pretending that ICE is going after dangerous people. They aren't. Right now, 70% of the people that they are detaining have absolutely no criminal record. What is happening?
DHS says 70% of those they're arresting, and that's their number, do have some kind of criminal record.
What is happening in...
He didn't stop to argue it.
He didn't stop to argue, but he wanted to ignore it.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up. I'm talking here.
So what's the thinking if you're him? Well, you know, those stupid Republicans, they can't hear. They don't have their hearing aids. They can't hear what I'm saying.
I think what he thinks is those stupid Democrats, to be honest with you. The low information, Democrats should just follow whatever he says, no matter what. He already said it, so therefore it's fact. It's true. When she disputed it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because he said it, Vic.
I think, though, that in this particular case, he thinks we're rubes that don't know anything because he is on Fox News. He wasn't on CNN or some.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't see a whole lot of Democrats watching Fox News Sunday.
No.
So he thinks we're idiots. Is the point?
I get that from that angle. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Minnesota right now is a dystopia. ICE is tear gassing elementary schools.
Stop!
A dystopia and tear gassing kids.
I don't remember one story. I'm surprised they didn't say they're flamethrowing elementary
Those poor
schools.
kids that are running, trying to get from one class to the next, and they're flamethrowing them.
Choking and
Yeah.
choking the spitting because they can't
But
breathe.
some made it, though. Some made it to the class.
They did.
And it's okay.
Others died of. No.
What are they thinking of? When someone says something like that? I mean, imagine if we were trying to blow something up to be that obviously embellished upon,
right?
And we started talking about a topic, and it was so crazy. I mean, that's crazy talk,
right?
That's not just, well, we could look at the stats and see if that's true. No, there's no kids. There's not one child being tear gassed.
Right.
It's just not.
Okay, again.
It is disappearing legal residents into cars.
Stop! Two lies right in 5 seconds. They're not disappearing anybody. Disappearing is a Nazi Germany phrase where Jewish people were taken out of their homes, put in trucks, and brought to the concentration camps and disappeared and were killed.
Disappearing means forever.
Right. Kill. It means kill.
Yeah.
So don't say disappeared. Say kill so we know you're really, really lying.
Right.
Go ahead.
But what else? Didn't he say something else?
Yeah.
Legal residents into cars.
Oh,
It is
legal residents.
Yeah. That was my point. Is legal? No, you're not legal if you're illegal. If you're you know what? If you're illegal, you're not legal. I know it sounds stupid.
No, Ken, you're absolutely
If you're
right.
illegal, you're not legal.
They don't use that term. They never use that term. When they say immigrants, they mean illegal immigrants, but they won't say it. Bad Bunny said it last night at the Grammys. He said immigrants are strong or something. I don't know what else he said.
Yeah, he had something derogatory to say because they belong here. They're citizens, and they're not.
And I don't know why he was talking. He's not at that Super Bowl halftime show, right? Bugs Bunny is.
No, it's Bugs Bunny. We'll prove it later.
Okay. Just make sure. Okay, continue with
murdering American citizens. ICE is
Wait. See, okay, there. That's the part that I was talking about, Vic.
murdering American citizens.
Stop.
He's murdering American citizens.
That's
Who?
good and pretty.
No, but they're not murdered.
No, I get it. Oh, I see the wording. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I just say something just statistic-wise here and tell me what you think about this? 2 protesters have been killed. Any loss of life is bad on either side.
Right,
Bad.
right.
2 protesters were killed. 2 St. Louisans are killed a night.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
So I guess
Nobody cares.
they don't care. So these people that die every night here in St. Louis, they're less? Is that what they're saying?
They're shot by people who probably have a left-leaning slant on life, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why it doesn't matter. What did you say?
No, their life matters less.
Right.
Less.
Their life matters less because they're black. Let's face it. Right. That's what the press is really saying.
Well, that's what the press is saying. Yeah.
I know this is insensitive, but it's the truth. Every morning, on that little 3-minute thing that KSDK does before the top of the hour, they say, "Oh, a man shot to death in North St. Louis," and my wife and I look at each other and go, "Huh, it never happens."
No.
So don't talk to me. And again, any life lost is life lost, and that's bad. 2 protesters were killed in this whole ICE thing in Minnesota. 2 St. Louisans a night are killed here. That's a bigger number. That's all I'm saying.
Not only that, but the dozens of women who were killed by illegal aliens, raped, murdered.
Nobody cares.
There was actually a nursing student that was murdered by an illegal, and they're highlighting the other what's her name? Renee Good.
Yeah, right.
And Preddy both were working apparently in the nursing industry.
Yeah.
So they're highlighting them as they were nurses.
Yeah. You're talking about Lake and Riley,
Lake
right?
and Riley was a nurse. She was studying to be a nurse.
Well, they better watch out what they say about nurses because now there are nurses who are deliberately trying to kill people that they may think are MAGA in their hospital.
Isn't that crazy? Now, that's not crazy talk. That's true.
Yeah, it's true, and it's so illegal, and it's so immoral, and not to mention what happened to do no harm, that Hippocratic oath.
Right.
Oh, do no harm unless it's a MAGA patient. Then you can do harm.
Right.
That's what that whole story tells me.
Yeah.
Is he done this?
No.
I almost cursed there. Go ahead.
ICE is making this country less safe, not more safe
Stop.
today.
Any of the violence in Minneapolis was started by the protesters, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Throwing things, driving a car into somebody, kicking your light off of your, and he didn't just kick the car, by the way.
Oh, man, he beat the hell out of it.
The whole right blinker and all that went hanging by wires.
I was looking, and he's just walking past my car this weekend, and I'm looking at that back right.
Yeah.
You know, the whole rig of the back light that's set up there.
Right.
What it was taken for me to kick that thing off, I would have broken my foot.
Yep.
And
so
yet,
your original thought was right, that they're probably steel-toed boots.
when he kicked that car, for example, he knew what he was doing.
Right.
He went in there, man. He didn't even, usually when you kick something, you think, maybe I shouldn't kick it so hard.
Yeah.
He hit it as hard as he possibly could.
Well,
then he did it again and knocked that light off. I believe that he purposely had steel-toed shoes on for that purpose.
All right, we can't even hear anymore because we're late, so that's all the time we have for That's Crap.
This is Jim Modulin speaking for That's Crap, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman radio production.
Thank you, Jim Modulin. This is Vic Porcelli saying help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah. So the Freedom 13 Gala Night is happening Friday, February 27th at the Foundry Arts Center in St. Charles, 6 to 11 o'clock. The Freedom 13 organization, Mark Schmitz, gave us the flag that stands behind Ken Williams every day, and Jared Schmidt's name's up there. And there's this bottle of bourbon that they have that would get a high bid if it was just the bottle of bourbon. This one happens to be autographed by President Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
And I'm pretty sure we saw Mark Schmitz out at the event with Nick Schroer the other night, the trivia night.
Yeah.
And he was up on stage and he thanked everybody for giving and everything. And he said, we got to give more. And he also said that I think they're giving away another flag like this one, but signed by President Trump.
Oh, my God.
They're going to be auctioning it off. I'm sorry, but so.
We got to get ours autographed.
Wouldn't that be great?
While he's here. In the
right,
studio
in the studio, sure.
Whatever. Go to NewstalkSTL.com to get more information on that. Terris Todd from Project 21 is next. Did it get to the Bourbon Street thing yet? I don't think so. I think we missed it. Yeah.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Being the guy who's pushing them out.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. Columbo and Company.
Join us every day for conversations with a wide variety of guests as we keep you informed and up to speed on all the important news and headlines you need to know.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
It's time for Country Mart's massive meat sale. Thursday and Friday, February 5th and 6th. A sale so big, we could only call it a massive meat sale. Ground chuck, $3.99 a pound. Boneless strips, $8.99 a pound. Pork butts, $1.59 a pound. Boneless beef top sirloin, $6.99 a pound. Bottom round flats, $5.99 a pound. See all items on our Facebook page, St. Clair Country Mart, Plaza Drive in St. Clair. Hurry while supplies last. Sorry, no rain checks.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you're ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with this free call. 800-524-1641. 800-524-1641. 800-524-1641. That's 800-524-1641.
This hour of the Vic Porcelli Show brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Steve Heitner. You may know me as Kenny Banya from Seinfeld, and you're listening to Vic and Ken on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
All right. So a couple of things about the date today. It's February 2nd. Groundhog saw his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. I put a call into Uncle Rocco to go pay the groundhog a visit. Not my groundhog.
You know, statistically over the years since the 1800s, it's only been 30% correct. So
I know, but it's the,
Yeah, no.
Then I wouldn't be able to do the mafia joke.
That's true.
If we don't do it. You
That's
know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah.
And, I can't. I don't think I can do 6 more weeks of winter.
No.
I just don't think I can do it. Do you know that today is the first day in 11 days of over 32 degrees, over freezing?
Yeah.
The first time.
I don't
in
know if it
11?
is even yet, but it's supposed to get over 32 degrees today.
It better.
Yeah.
It better. Let me see what my phone says real quick.
All I know is it's cold.
You're right. It's 31.
It's cold until it gets warm.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Profound,
scientific
right?
scientific measurement there. And the other thing is, and the date is weird, so I think we'll do this tomorrow instead of today, but on the night of February 2nd, 1959, close to midnight in Clear Lake, Iowa, a plane with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens and the Big Bopper went down and killed all 3 of those singers the day the music died. So we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, let's talk to our great friend Terris Todd from Project 21 and the National Center for Public Policy Research. Terris, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, my friend. Good to hear back from you guys, man. I always love coming to hang out with my folks from the Midwest.
Yeah,
right
we love having you.
Right on. Terris Todd.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Don Lemon.
Yes.
This country is so fractured, Terris, okay? Because I would have thought, even if you're a lefty, right? If you're a lefty loon, you would have said, that was really stupid, Don. It was sad.
That's right.
There's a service going on, and he's trying to draw a fine line between the freedom of the press and freedom of religion, but he wasn't really being there as a journalist. He was there being an instigator and an agitator.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And at the core of who we are as Black Americans specifically, our faith, family, and freedom is at the very core. Faith being the first thing that was actually passed down from our ancestors to who we are today. As a matter of fact, it was their faith that got them through the tough times of enslavement and so on, and Jim Crow and whatnot. And basically, Don Lemon did absolutely nothing different than what the Klan had done years ago, except they just didn't take bombs in and start putting the church on fire. And so Black Americans are aware of that. One of the things that I think that Don Lemon is fearing the most, as well as all these other elitists and all these privileged people in Hollywood, is the fear of no longer being relevant. So as a result, he goes and mind you, since he hides behind the banner of journalism, I have not seen to this date, and my wife is a journalist by profession, I have not seen to this day any journalist that shows up to an event with donuts and coffee. There was a video. I mean, he takes donuts and coffee. As a matter of fact, the guy, I saw the video, the guy had to announce that Don Lemon was there with donuts and coffee for everybody before they went into the church.
Right.
That's absolute craziness. So all this is it's an anti-God agenda. And Diva Donna, he was a part of that. And he goes in and he storms the church. He knows what intents he had. He knows the intentions of what those people had. It is very, very sickening that he joined in that crowd. But again, this keeps his name in the limelight, in the headlines, because he's a fired journalist, and so he has to figure out some way to put his name back in print.
So I'm trying to figure out, Terris, in my head how that went, Don Lemon just happens to have all these donuts and all this coffee, and he
Right.
walks into this crowd. Oh, where are you guys going? Oh, you going to
Right.
storm the church? Well, here, you need coffee and donuts for that. Just a pure
That's right.
coincidence, right?
Yeah, you need some strength for this one.
And he, I get it. When he's on CNN, he gets to be the left, wide left, way left, far left commentator that he was. And, Chris Cuomo, for everything that's been said and done, he's now on News Nation, which is not a left-wing outlet at all. It's not a right-wing outlet either, but he's still got a job.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And so Don is taken to the streets. That's all he's done, man. But at some point in time, his sinking ship is going down in a blaze of glory, man. And again, I think it was just his way of trying to remain relevant. But Black Americans need to take note of that because simply, again, like I said before, some of the same things that were done that day with Don Lemon as a quote-unquote journalist. At least he was a journalist that day. And tomorrow he'll be a gay black man. The next day he'll be some privileged other person from Hollywood. But they know for a fact that this is exactly what was intended to be a scare tactic. It was Don's way of hiding behind his journalist tag, just to go in and basically kind of rebuke the church in a way. So anyway, it's flat out clear of their agenda, and that's just what they do, man. That's part of what they do.
We're talking to Terris Todd from NCPPR and the Project 21 News. And Terris, you said something there just now that makes so much sense. When you have the left like that, and it doesn't have to be even a black person, it's just anyone on the left, what they decide to do,
right.
like in Don Lemon's case, well, he was a journalist that day. But another day he's going to be a black gay man. And another day is going to be a powerful Democrat. I mean, whatever you want to put in there, they have the luxury of being like these chameleons that are able to shapeshift into whatever the narrative calls for. They don't give that luxury to any conservative ever.
Oh, absolutely not. No, we don't get this shift at all. I mean, you take January 6th, for example. They constantly keep bringing that stuff up, which people are like, okay, that's a nothing burger now. But, okay, while you want to entertain January 6th, at least those people went into a Capitol funded by the American taxpayers. So they had every right to be there, not to go in and tear stuff up, by the way. But the church is a private institution. And people have a right to assemble, have a right to freedom of worship and so on. But if the church was armed and they feared for their lives, this story could be totally different today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think more churches and schools need to be armed. But I don't know if you guys noticed.
There are some out there. They're out there.
Yeah.
There's a video of Don Lemon in Minnesota, and he's holding a microphone that has what we call flag. It's like a little square thing that goes under the top of the microphone to show where you work, and it says DL for Don Lemon, right? He was not holding that microphone when he went into the church. He was holding a tiny little microphone.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's a great point, Vic.
So he wasn't even representing himself as the
You're
press.
absolutely right. Good point on that.
So in addition to that, Vic, Rob Bluey was talking about he didn't have a press jacket on.
Right,
he didn't have no credentials at all on.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Because he knew they weren't welcome there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Again, he showed up with donuts and coffee, for goodness sake. And matter of fact, the average normie there didn't even know Don Lemon was there. The guy had to announce it in the video. He said, "Hey, you guys, Don Lemon's here. He's brought us coffees and donuts, if you want something to eat and drink." Yeah, he had to announce it, So anyway, but that's Diva Don, man, at his best. Again, he's a failed journalist from CNN, and he's trying to remain relevant, and that's exactly what he's getting because his name stays in print.
Even his comments after he was released, that I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm a journalist, and I stand up for all the journalists out there, and I'm the leader, and you guys better make me famous again.
Yeah, what's sad about that though? Okay, well, Don, if you're so concerned about the church, then why aren't you highlighting all of the great work that many of these churches in the black community or white community or Hispanic community, why aren't you highlighting all the great things that they're doing with outreach? Because a lot of them have what are called local missions. Matter of fact, my daughters were part of a local missions group back in Michigan. They're feeding the hungry, and they're clothing the naked. They're providing housing to those who need shelter and so on. Why aren't you doing that kind of journalism, Don? But no, you stormed in, and that's the type of journalism you wanted because you knew what it was going to do. You knew the type of hype it was going to create. That's exactly what he did.
A pastor, whatever you want to call him, a priest, whatever the title is, was somebody, when Ken and I were growing up, was somebody to be revered, somebody to have a healthy fear of, How about the nuns when they'd come up to you with that ruler and slap your knuckles with it, right?
Yeah.
And now who is he to go in and yell at somebody that is performing in that job?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, but again, it's all a part of the anti-God, anti-Christ kind of a thing. Again, when Obama blessed them to go on and for Don to be able to, hook up with his, white male lover that he's with now, when Obama blessed him to be able to do that, who did they attack? They attacked the church. They attacked believers. They attacked the Christian baker, right? So even though they end up winning their cases, but that was like probably hundreds of thousands of dollars later in legal fees, defending themselves. But they don't show up to a mosque that way. They don't show up to a temple or synagogue or anything like that. They don't show up to anywhere else, but they'll go to the Christian church, those who are followers of Christ. And so anyway, but that's them, man. That's a part of what the left does, and that's who they are at the core.
And that continues with the idea that they shapeshift whenever they want to. Oh, I'm a Christian. But then they go over and say, well, I'm all for abortions. In fact, I try to have abortions anytime I can. And then they go,
very Christian.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's that diverse, though, in the Democrat Party.
Yeah. They've opened the door for some wicked stuff, man. And unfortunately, like I said before, they'll never admit that they lost New York because Mamdani does not consider himself a Democrat. He ran on their ticket because he knew that socialism lives there. He know that is more accepting on their side of the aisle. So that's why they hitch their wagon to them to actually get their will and their plan accomplished. And so Mamdani wins New York, and you have all these other folks in other communities, like in Minneapolis, Minnesota, what's happening there. That's what they do. They go in and they populate an area, and then they take over local government, school boards, and so on. So that way they can bring the socialist, Marxist kind of agenda, and there you have it. And so Don Lemon is a part of that group. Whether he, agrees with it or not, that is him.
I hate to say this, okay, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's not me, it's the left. And they're thinking that the two people who were the two people who were killed, who are dead, the two protesters, Preddy and Good, are both white. And I think the press were hoping and praying they'd be black so they could really make this a racial thing.
Oh, yeah.
But they couldn't, right?
That's right. Well, they couldn't because predominantly black Americans aren't even involved.
Right.
Because they know that's not even our fight.
They're all white liberal women.
That's right. And those two individuals who were shot and killed or their lives were taken, it was totally preventable. How about just not be there?
Right.
I mean, you're such a wonderful mom. Then where are your kids at during all this stuff?
Right.
Why are you there infringing upon the rights of law enforcement to enforce the law of the land? But again, these are paid people. They had one black guy I saw they interviewed, and they asked why he was at one of the protests or whatever. He said, well, I thought I'd just come out and support, but he said, I'm unemployed at the moment, and they were paying us $20 an hour.
Wow.
He literally said that on camera, and so I was like, wow. He said, so I thought I would come out and at least support. But nobody in their right mind, especially in black America, I'm going to speak on behalf of black folks, nobody in their right mind is going to go out and protest in the dead of winter. It's cold out, and we're just going to be out here doing what? No, to get our heads cracked for what? I mean, it's not even our fight. Nobody's done anything to us. So anyway, they can have at it. But yeah, black Americans as a whole are not even in those places. And so, but unfortunately, I pray for the families who lost their loved one. But unfortunately, also, they didn't even have to be there.
All right, Ken, you got anything? Because I want to move on to Snap. So Snap was in the news for a while. Now it's kind of died out. But Snap, I think, this is just me. Snap should be for nutritious food, not soda and chips and things that are bad for kids, right? The N in Snap is for nutrition, right? And now fraudsters are taking advantage of Snap by filling in 5 different states using dead people's information and then selling the food stamps for money.
Yeah, that is the going thing, which is fraudulent, of course, and they need to be held to the extent of the law, man. I mean, again, this is exactly what the Somalians were doing, right? I mean, they were taking total advantage of all of this government assistance, like the Leering Center, like they mentioned before, which was supposed to be a learning center, but a Leering Center, and who had no
Leering Center.
Yeah, they had no children in these places, and yet they were collecting millions of dollars. And interestingly, there was a young Somali female that came out on social media saying that Black Americans are somehow jealous of them. I'm like, excuse me, jealous of what?
Yeah.
80% of your people are on public assistance that we're footing the bill for, number one. Number two, you left your homeland to come here to get high on the horse or get high on the hog or whatever one you want to choose. And we're jealous for what reason? I kid you guys not, I have never met a Black American that said they're going to vacation in Somalia.
Right.
For a week.
Right. Well,
never.
Terris, you know what? I mean, you leer, you learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, listen to this. We just want to play this for you. A Black woman who is conservative.
I'm a Black woman in America with conservative views, and somehow that offends more people than actual racism. The moment I don't agree, I'm no longer independent or strong. I'm a... Funny how respect disappears when I don't vote or think the way I'm expected to. Here's the part they hate the most. My identity does not belong to a political party. My skin color isn't a contract, and my mind is not up for group ownership. You don't have to agree with me, but you will respect my right to think for myself.
That's right.
How about that?
I love it. And that's exactly the sentiments of the vast majority of Black Americans. Here's what's sad, man, is that even Jasmine Crockett, of all people, came out publicly and said that most Black Americans are conservative in their values.
Well,
why is that? Why is it? Because it's rooted in our faith that was once delivered to the saints, passed down from our ancestors. That's why we're conservative.
I've been saying that for years.
Right.
I've been saying that for years. The conservative lifestyle is the Black lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I'll extend that a little farther. It's the Hispanic lifestyle.
That's right.
It absolutely is. See, I'm glad you said that, because when I taught when I was an administrator at the public school system in Battle Creek, Michigan, I was the advisor to the Hispanic Club, to Hispanic students and their families. And you're absolutely right. These are God-fearing individuals who love the Lord, who love their freedom as well as like anybody else. They love their families. And they are conservative. Vast majority of them are Catholic people. They're in a part of the Catholic Church.
Yeah. And
so you're absolutely right. So conservatism is embedded in who we are as a people, man. And so why people don't vote that way, I don't understand. But we're nonpartisan, non-political anyway here at National Center. But yeah, our values do align, man.
All right. Last question. We don't even have time for you to answer it. You were a teacher in Battle Creek, Michigan. Did you get free breakfast cereal for the kids?
You know what? No, I didn't get all that. But
what? That's where all the cereal's made.
I know. I get it for myself because I am a Kellogg's kid. My grandfather and my mom. Yeah,
thanks,
I'm a Kellogg's
Terris.
kid. And I'll post out a little.
The world's best athletes, the biggest stage, the thrill of competition. NewstalkSTL brings you winter game updates 4 times every weekday, starting February 9th. Get the latest results, medal counts, and top stories from the games. Stay connected to all the action as our athletes go for the gold. Brought to you by Corel Roofing and Best Buy Flooring. Details at NewstalkSTL.com.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-515-2397. 800-515-2397. That's 800-515-2397.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump isn't backing down in the face of some tough talk from Iran's supreme leader, who warns that any attack by the United States would trigger a regional Middle East war. Mr. Trump's response?
Why wouldn't he say that? Of course you can say that, but we have the biggest, most powerful ships in the world over there, very close, a couple of days, and hopefully we'll make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right.
Gaza's Rafah border crossing with Egypt has reopened for limited traffic. It's a key step in the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. 50 Palestinians are expected to cross in each direction today, the first day of the crossing's reopening. A proposed new federal law would require proof of ID when registering to vote, and the new poll says nearly 3/4 of Americans support that.
The bill is called the SAVE Act, short for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility. Among its terms, it would require U.S. citizens to provide documentary proof of citizenship when registering to vote. Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick tells Salem Radio he is a backer.
I've supported legislation along with Bill Haggerty to make sure that we require verification in the census that someone's a U.S. citizen.
Along these lines, 74% of likely U.S. voters believe a photo ID requirement is a reasonable measure to protect election integrity. That's according to a national comprehensive survey by Rasmussen Reports. George Williams, Washington.
The federal government is partially shut down, but this shutdown could be short-lived. A House vote on reopening the government is expected tomorrow. 6 more weeks of winter weather. That's Punxsutawney Phil's prediction. The world-famous Pennsylvania groundhog did see his shadow in Punxsutawney this morning. Wall Street, the Dow up 429 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I thought was money. He just made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
It's not exactly a tropical heat wave, but it is a step in a warmer direction for sure. For the first time in 11 days, we climb above the freezing mark today, up to 39 for the high this afternoon. Light winds, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy at times. Down to 28 Tuesday morning. Let's watch for some light snow or a light mix to develop right over St. Louis between about 4 and 10 a.m. tomorrow, but that scoots off to the east pretty quickly, and then we're mostly cloudy Tuesday afternoon with a high of 34. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, hour number 2 of our 3-hour tour. Tomorrow at this time, we're going to talk to Dan Schneider, Vice President of Free Speech at the Media Research Center, about the big media people. When I say media, I don't mean TV. I mean social media people,
oh, yeah.
The big heads getting together to wipe us out, Ken. I swear to God, that's their mission, to just wipe us out.
Trying.
All right, let's talk to Karen.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, vermischt.
boiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
Come taste the difference good fruit can make in your wine. You'you'll remember the experience, and you'll remember the name, Herb Ervlinger, Bert Herngave, Irv Herblinger, Bing Livehanger, Liveling, Bert Herkern, Bert, Bingo Ling.
What is that from?
That's the late, great Catherine O'Hara as Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. What a talent.
She was so
She
great.
was.
I mean, she was a great.
So funny.
She could sing, so she did funny musical sketches, right? And have you ever seen Best of Show about the dogs?
I did. And you know what? Westminster Dog Show is tonight and tomorrow night.
Oh, I'll be watching. You
You
bet.
probably didn't know that, and I just found out. I love the
Yesterday we
Westminster Dog
watched the
Show.
agility competition. Did you see the
I
agility?
saw some of it.
Love
yes.
it. Love it.
I
We love it.
I did.
So
I did. Those border collies, I'm telling you.
They're
amazing.
maniacs. They're maniacs. The way they go through the weaving thing. But getting back to that movie and just him, her, and Eugene Levy are like the Sid Caesar and Imogen Coca of their generation, don't you think?
They really, really are. And it was easy to spot her as a unique comic talent early on because she always had a way of doing things different than you would expect.
Yeah. And
that's talent.
That
May she
Schitt's
rest in
Creek
peace.
saved us from COVID, I swear to God. Because
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, me too.
My wife was
Loved
like,
it.
What about this Schitt's Creek? We show upset. It's got Eugene Levy and it's got Catherine O'Hara and Dan Levy, who was hysterical. So we watched it, and we watched 3-4 episodes a night, and it really got us through the depression of COVID.
How about that? We've been watching. You got the crud I have. I usually have it in the morning.
I
It's
just
terrible.
smoke too much. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
We've been binge watching something that I'm glad you gave me an opening. Because when we get into something, we watch a lot of it.
Yeah.
Landman.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm in the middle of it right. I'm in the first episode of the second season.
Really? We finished the first season. Now my husband has to go on a business trip, so I have to wait.
So I only have 2 words for you to look forward to. Sam Elliott.
Oh, I know.
He's gonna
I mean, that is a great cast.
Love it. Andy Garcia.
Except that I know. We just saw him at I know. I could spend the whole segment talking about it. Except that I loathe, detest, and love to hate those 2 blonde bimbo chicks.
Yeah.
I can't stand them. And don't you know there's going to be a Crystal and Alexis fight in the swimming pool or something? There's going to be a cat fight.
Yeah.
Between those 2. That's what they're gearing up for. That's one of my predictions, but I don't know.
Well, just one thing to stick up for Allie Larder, who plays the wife.
She's wonderful.
Well, she's great because you hate her, right? She's a great
Yes,
actress because you hate her.
exactly.
Plus, as a human, she lives in a small house. She drives an old junker car. She does nothing. She gives money to charity, and she goes around the country helping people. She's really a great human being.
Does she take senior citizens to strip clubs?
Yeah, that probably was actually something from her real life that they took.
You're right, Ken.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So anyway, and just one last thing I want to say, and this is just, I don't know, so shameless, whatever. But Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, or Sid Caesar and Imogen Coca. My son, heavily into theater in high school, and he and this girl named Maggie were, I swear to God, Sid Caesar and Imogen Coca style comedy all the time. The plays they were in were just amazing. They were in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and he played Linus and she played Lucy. And there's one part where she walks across the stage and knocks him out, and it looked like he went down like a shot. There were so many plays they were in together, and the theater teacher was smart. She always put those 2 together because they were comedy magic.
That is high compliment to compare them to Sid Caesar and Imogen Coca, even though it was before my time considerably. We know that was the golden age of TV comedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
You watching the Mel
and
Brooks
they
thing?
did it without a tightrope.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Live.
What were you going to ask me? What?
Are you watching the Mel Brooks thing, 99-year-old man?
We saw some of it, but we've been so obsessed with
Landman. I get it. I finished Landman, so I'm free and clear.
Yeah, and you know what? Now we have to wait, till November to see another season?
What? Listen to Little Miss Impatience
Since
here.
when? I'm very impatient. Since when is a season 10 episodes? You tell me.
I know.
I'm whining, man.
You are. You are being a perfect Jew this morning. Perfect.
And you know what I love about it, too, is that my husband and I love things in which we both get into, sometimes for different reasons. Not only does he have a lot of inside information about the oil business. I mean, he wasn't exactly in the oil business, but there is stuff he knows about heavy equipment and stuff that he I've got like this consultant next to me.
That's
Ask
great,
him
though.
all these questions.
Yeah, that's great.
Learn what a
Yeah, he
patch
loves
is
it.
and all that, right? You got to learn all the lingo, all the vernacular. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk business. Want to talk business, Mike? Let's talk business.
Okay.
That was Mike Mo Green, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So you retweeted this letter to the left from a woman named Farah that you were it's a long tweet.
Yeah.
We can't read the whole thing, but can you give us a quick synopsis on what she said and what it was all about?
Her name, you mean, are you talking about Jenna?
This says
her name is
Farah.
Jenna.
A letter.
Dear ICE protesters. Oh, I've been retweeting a lot of things. Oh, this one's name is Jenna McCarthy. That's not the one you're talking about, right?
No.
She is wonderful. I
Okay.
retweeted that one as well. I guess you're talking about.
It was
let's see,
February 1st.
Bravo to this woman, yes, who asked that first question. Oh my God, there's so much been good stuff to retweet. She explains that she used to be a leftist. She was one of you. She talks to them directly. And she talks about how not only did she have the audacity to ask a question, but she saw how they treated her when she dared ask, which is so reminiscent of what's going on with Nicki Minaj now.
Yes.
Right? The same kind of thing. You would think people would get a clue when they see not only do they have no moral high ground whatsoever, these people that sit in judgment of everyone else, but they're the most intolerant people ever. She also goes on to say, if she dares ask a question or disagree, you've gone right wing. How dare you? And now they should be boycotted. And the whole, it's been a bit since I've read it, but I really do encourage everybody to read it, because what is so amazing is what it is that gets a person out of a cult. I'm absolutely convinced that the left has turned into one of the most radical cults that fits all of the criteria of a cult. To separating people from their families, appealing to gullible people who feel lost, confused, and need to belong, and need to get pats on the head for what they do. They respond particularly to social pressure. And so much more. Hating and sowing hatred and discontent of any outsider who dares to think for themselves. And where does it always lead? It leads to getting people killed, because people put themselves in front of tanks for the cause. And that's what this radical left, that's their audience. That's who they address. I used to be very, very interested in Scientology, not as a proponent, but to study the people who had the guts to leave. And what was it, including Leah Remini, who grew up in it and had to grow up enough to start asking questions. And the kind of hatred and spying and utter criminality that she was subjected to is reminiscent of all the cults we've seen. I just wish we could bottle what this woman did. She's from Australia, Farah, because Australian leftism has gone bonkers.
Yeah.
You saw what they did in COVID. You know, you took a step in one direction on your own front porch, and they threatened to arrest you.
Unbelievable.
And people don't understand how deadly dangerous this ideology is. It's what's backing these paid protesters
And it's always
to
hateful.
act insane.
It's always hateful.
Always hateful. It's always based on outrageous, unfair bigotry, collective hatred against one group against another. I just continue to find it fascinating how many people fall for that. But the left has gone about weakening our culture for really decades to prime them for this kind of a perversion of our values. So I remain unbelievably interested in any of these stories. The walkaway story, love it, love it, love it, love it. And what is it, that causes a person to start to ask? It's the Ayn Rand thing. Ayn Rand grew up in Soviet Russia, and she said to herself, I don't like this. I think I'm going to stand for something different.
Yeah.
Karen,
when I had on my bucket list, it was to go to Australia. I have family on my wife's side there, and I always thought it would be an amazing thing, but it changed my mind during COVID when I saw all the lockdowns that they did. They actually built like a single level apartments for people to stay in, and they had to stay behind the door. They could not even come out onto the the deck.
More of a detention center.
It was well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it looked like. And then Karen, in Minnesota, I saw they said, well, wait a minute, not so fast, because here's what happened in Minnesota, and they showed a video of these people, part of the government, part of the police force, going down the street with rubber bullets and all that, saying to people, get inside. If you're outside, we're going to shoot you. And these people are standing there going, wait a minute, what? This is America. And they said, get in the house, and they shot him. That happened here.
It's incomprehensible that gullible people have such short memories. When a Democrat is in office, they're tyrants and they support tyranny. When a Republican is in office and who clearly has a track record of standing against tyranny, they buy the propaganda that calls him a tyrant so that they can continue to sow hatred. I shudder to think all the people that are utter zombies in Minnesota claiming that the government is a jackbooted thug entity. God forbid there is a Democrat in office. We know who are going to behave like the real jackbooted thugs because they did it to their political enemies.
Yeah.
They did it to Tina Peters in Colorado, who's still sitting in jail. She's a political prisoner.
Yeah.
You may not know that story and haven't talked about it much because I'm not exactly up on it, but I am up on it more than most.
Let's talk about it next week. Let's research and talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Or Thursday.
We should get somebody who's an expert on it because I don't want to misrepresent anything. I think, with all respect, people need to look up Tina Peters in Colorado. She's over 70, sitting in jail because of the leftist radical machine that is in Colorado.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There's a book out that we were talking to Rob Bluey, who is the executive editor of the Daily Signal, and he's talking about a book by Elliot Williams. It's called 5 Bullets, and it's all about Bernie Goetz, the subway vigilante.
Oh,
remember
really?
Bernie?
Oh, yes, I do. I think I was living there then. I don't remember what year. What year
84,
did that actually
84.
happen? Oh, yeah, I was living there.
Yep. It was something everybody thought he was Charles Bronson, and he was the subway vigilante. We didn't know who he was. It was really mystery and intrigue, and it actually was what got the Guardian Angels up and moving. And Curtis Lewa.
Really?
Yeah.
He wasn't around before that?
I
didn't realize that.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, and Bernie Goetz was the quintessential nerd.
Absolutely.
Weakling, supposedly, and he had just had enough.
And he looked like a perfect mark for somebody wanting to rob somebody.
Yes, he was the perfect mark, or so they thought. And boy, did people come to his defense for the most part and realize they identified with him.
Yeah, I knew nothing about anything. I knew less about anything than I do now, and now I don't know anything about anything. But back then, it was like, Bernie Goetz, somebody's going to try to rob you, shoot him. That was how we thought, because who knows who's going to come up to you and try to take your money, take your life. Right now you can't walk on the subway or somebody will push you in front of a train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it the quintessential silent majority of people that were moved by that story? They have they live quiet lives of desperation, taking their lives in their hands, trying to get to work on a subway train. And that's what I think Bernie gets touched in people. And he remained a private citizen afterwards. After the brouhaha, he went back into obscurity because he wasn't trying to get that kind of attention.
Yeah, and he's still alive, 78 years old.
How about that?
Yep.
Live to tell the tale.
No kidding. Boy, no kidding. All right, so I didn't think we'd have time for this, actually, but we do have a minute or so here. You mentioned Leah Remini, and pardon my ignorance on this. Is she not a liberal? Is she a conservative?
I don't know what her political ideology is. I guess I never watched her show.
I did.
Didn't know who she was, right? Was a blue-collar sitcom show, right?
King of Queens.
Right, the King of Queens.
But
right.
I
watched a little of it.
Karen, I watched the one where she was exposing the Scientology.
Exactly. She did. She did a lot of television. Wrote a book about it, which I read some years ago. She stayed pretty much in her lane against Scientology because Scientology professes to have certain conservative ideas, but they're twisted as hell.
Yeah,
they're very, very twisted. And her mom got she and her sister into it when they were either grade school or adolescent. So she lived that life. So to get out of it at that point, she sustained unbelievable amount of hostility, and she lost all her friends, her entire social network. And she made up her mind. She's a tough cookie. She made up her mind to expose them. And they're still out there because part of their agenda is to be into real estate rather than in religion. The real business is real estate.
Oh yeah.
Be damned.
Yeah, it's a textbook of cults, and if you compare that to the current left in this country, boy, oh boy, you can't tell the difference.
That's true. All right, Karen. So let's talk a little more about this woman and her letter to the left on Thursday. You good with that?
I am, and I'll look up more on Tina Peters.
Oh, right, and Tina Peters, too. We'll talk about her. Let's talk about Catherine O'Hara, too, because she was great. All right.
Absolutely.
Love you, Karen.
You're
Thank
great.
you so much. They were fantastic.
No, you're great.
No,
both
you.
Of you were
No,
great.
no, you.
No, you.
No,
you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
So we on That's Crap, we played audio from Fox News Sunday, right, with Shannon Bream.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Todd Blanche,
yeah,
Assistant Attorney General. By the way, Ken, I know you don't like Pam Bondi anymore. If Trump decides to get rid of her, I think that Whitaker, what's his first name, should be.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's good. All right. Sorry, I should know what I'm going to talk about before I talk about it. But anyway, that's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL.
Hi, it's Barrett, but as Vic says, the grass our grandson. Hey, it's good to see you. And now back to Vic and Ken on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Stop it, kid. We can't like you anymore.
Yeah.
We like you so much. You're trying to make us like you more? Can't happen. Maybe it can. But it's good to see you. All right, so let's talk about trees, okay? There was, in case you missed it, there was a snowstorm last weekend. And I was looking out the window, and it looked to me, I was wrong, okay, but it looked to me like the tree that my next-door neighbor hangs over my yard, you know?
Yeah.
And it looked like the branch fell. It just was an optical illusion. It never happened. But, if it falls in my yard, then it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
So I got to tell him to call Stan.
Exactly right.
Because Stan is the tree whisperer, the tree saver. He will come out and check your tree and see if it's worth saving or not. And, wouldn't you rather have the tree saved than just get rid of it? Right?
Right.
I mean, your tree, you love your tree.
I love him.
That's why you bought the house.
That's right.
Which is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It's true,
That you
though.
bought a house because of the tree. And you put the tire swing up there, right? All that stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. That's Americana right there. And so is Stan Clement at Roots Plus. So if you think your tree might be ill, let Stan take a look at it. If you can't save it, the money that you spent towards that will go towards removing the tree. Sorry, we'll give him his money back for this one for sure. Go to RootsPlusLLC.com. RootsPlusLLC.com.
News Talk STL.
First thing in the morning and pretty much all day.
Live and local. 1019 and 94.1. News Talk STL.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Ever feel like just a number in a waiting room? Hi, I'm Shannon Tribune, Director of Operations with Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Navigating the medical system can be a maze of stress. I'm your personal guide at Body of Health. I handle the messy parts of medical care, the logistics and complex coordination both in and outside our walls, so you and Dr. Tobler, that's my dad, can focus on what matters most, your health. At Body of Health, you're not just a patient, you're part of the family, because that's healthcare the way it ought to be. To learn more, schedule a discovery call at bodyofhealth.com.
News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Did Donald Trump and Republicans make everything great again over the weekend? We'll discuss with Senator Jim Talent at 4:25. At 5:25, Red State Headlines with Susie Moore.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
The Somali walls in Mogadishu, Minnesota. You might have heard there's quite a load of money missing, new millionaires. All the kids are leering in fake daycares. The Somali waltz, the Somali waltz. It's the same old song. The Somali waltz is sad but true. They're screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz. Play your cards right. You could be governor, and if you need a green card, marry your brother with liberal judges on the take. There's no fear of justice while they shimmy and they shake. The Somali waltz, the Somali waltz. It's the same old song. The Somali waltz is sad but true. They're screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz.
The Somali Waltz.
What a great song.
Great song. Can you, is there any way you could put the video of this somewhere where people can find it and watch it?
The only thing I can do is put it on my X page.
Okay, do that. Go to Ken's X page, which is awesome.
At Ken J. Williams.
Kenneth James Williams.
Yeah.
And because the lyrics are hysterical, but when you watch the video to go along with it.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? The kids are leering. Very smart. Very smart, good comedy. All right, Ken. I'm sorry to go from something funny to something very sad, but Savannah Guthrie, who is the co-host, of course, of the Today Show.
Yeah.
Her mother was missing. And
is there an update?
There is an update to the point where a sheriff in the town where she lived said, Tucson, Arizona, we have a crime scene. That's as specific as it gets.
Well, she wasn't like diminished mentally.
Not at all. No dementia
so it
whatsoever.
wasn't like she just got up and walked away. She was in her 80s, or is in her 80s. I don't know what the deal is, but
still looks like foul play.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? We hate the Today Show, but we don't hate. Well, I don't hate anybody. Well, I hate everybody, You know what
we
I'm
don't
saying?
we don't want to see harm to
Yeah,
anybody.
exactly. I hate to see foul play with anybody's family, and I wish that this story I was looking at. Okay, here we go. So authorities in Arizona confirmed late Sunday that they are searching for the mother of the NBC Today host Savannah Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie, last seen Saturday evening at her residence near East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue, north of Tucson, about 9:30. A relative of Guthrie's contacted authorities around noon Sunday to report her missing. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said, "We're pretty much just throwing everything at this we can. Guthrie is 84, not in good physical health, so naturally that's a great concern." Reports later adding that the scene of the house raised some concerns for us as well. This is actually not an updated story, but the updated story is a video, so I can't read it, and I hate when they do that. I just want to read the article. I don't have to necessarily see a video. But he said we have a crime scene, so I'm assuming that I hate to do it, but I am assuming the worst for Savannah Guthrie's mom.
Yeah,
and I hope she's okay. If it is the worst, then our hearts go out to Savannah Guthrie.
She seemed like such a sweetheart, So
her or the mom?
The mom.
Yeah, well, her too. She's
nice.
She's
whatever.
Nice. Ken. You don't even want to say that, do you?
No.
It's okay. All right. So anyway, we'll update you on that if there's any updating to be had. Yep, nothing. All right. So Matt Whitaker.
Matt Whitaker, yes.
Is right now the UN ambassador ambassador to NATO. He's
NATO,
ambassador
yeah.
to NATO. He was the assistant AG for a while under President Trump the first time. And if anything happens to Pam Bondi, if Donald Trump wants to relieve her of her attorney general duties, then I think Matt Whitaker would make a great attorney general.
I think so. Yeah. President Trump needs someone to actually pull the trigger, and I mean that totally symbolically. But they need to be able to incarcerate people, charge people, let them get their due justice. But if they're guilty, put them in prison. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah. And he testified. I'm going to take a guess here, but I think it was President Trump's impeachment hearing. And he just made a total sham of what was going on. He was laughing at them, saying, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen." He was great. He was a great witness for our side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Todd Blanche, who is the current assistant AG, was on. And you know what's funny, Ken? Have you noticed that the Sunday shows are all women?
Oh, yeah.
You got Kristen Welker on NBC.
Right.
You got Margaret Brennan on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
You got Dana Bash on CNN.
Yeah.
And George Stephanopoulos on ABC. They're all women.
I know.
So he was
Girls.
on. I couldn't wait. I could not wait to tell that
pretty
joke. Nobody should feel comfortable storming into a church and disrupting church services. That's what Blanche says.
So when do you believe that Mr. Lemon crossed the line from reporting on what was going on to criminal activity?
Conveniently missing from what you just showed, George, is the appellate court and a judge on the appellate court who said just a few days later there was clearly probable cause and it wasn't even a close question. So, and by the way, a grand jury, which is what our system has set up to determine whether probable cause exists, concluded that there was probable cause. That indictment is now public. Everybody in this country can pull it up and read for themselves and see what the grand jury found that Mr. Lemon did. I am not going to comment on the charges specifically because it's not appropriate, but it's interesting that we talk about the First Amendment right. You have a right of freedom of religion, which is just as important as any other right that we have. And George, I don't know if you've watched the videos or read the indictment about what it's alleged that Mr. Lemon did, but if anybody in this country thinks that is, quote, independent journalism, I would like to have a conversation with you. Now, he's obviously has a very good lawyer. He can raise defenses in court to the extent he wants to, but nobody in this country should feel comfortable storming into a church while it's ongoing and disrupting that church service and thinking that we're just going to stand by and let that happen, because there is a statute that does not allow that to happen. It doesn't matter if you happen to be a former CNN journalist. It doesn't matter if you're a rioter. It doesn't matter if you think you're peacefully protesting. You are not allowed to do that.
Now, Ken, I got to ask you a question that you may know the answer to. I do not. I'll tell you right now. When you're a member of the press and you're out in public reporting on things, gathering information, or reporting as a correspondent for the network that you're working for, do you have to show that you're press? Do you have to have something that says press or the network or the mic flag like we were talking about before?
No, you don't. But at the same time, as a safety precaution, you should. I don't know what it would mean in that situation there. I know that there's something, I don't know, I'll look it up, Vic, but I've seen other people who get information from like a situation and they're not labeled.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I don't know if that's a requirement or not, but I know that I've seen people who didn't have that type of labeling.
Are we allowed to ask if they should? Are we allowed to ask that, or are we breaking some First Amendment right?
I think we're allowed to ask anything we want. I really do.
I think they should wear something that says press.
Well, in like big situations like wars, for example,
Right.
they always have press.
Trey Inks always has Fox
for
on
their
his
for their safety.
Yeah.
You know,
no, it doesn't say Fox, just says press. Yeah,
so I would say that in a situation like the rioters, that because they're not protesters, they're instigators, they're agitators, and they're rioters. Okay, in those situations, I would be wearing a press outfit.
No
Some
kidding.
kind of press label.
Yeah.
You know, just okay. I'm in the middle here. Maybe not though in that situation because they don't like certain press, because if you're on the right, no matter who you are, even if you're press, then they're going to
You're the
probably
enemy.
try and you're the enemy. So
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And everything Todd Blanche said there, it's a typical setup by George Stephanopoulos, who left out the important parts, right?
Yeah.
Who left out the part that is really the storytelling of the whole situation. So Blanche also talked to Dana Bash on CNN. And he said, we have gone after more sex traffickers, more child pornographers, more men who have done harm to children and young women than any administration in history. That is getting completely overlooked by the legacy media. It's completely overlooked.
completely, yeah.
And you know what, too? People who are the experts that we talk about all the time on social media. I heard one person say, hey, I'm Tom Holman. We saved a kabillion kids from being trafficked. Like he was making fun of these kids.
Yeah, and they're actually saving children that have been missing. Tens of thousands, Vic.
What do you have?
Saying no federal law requires members of the press to wear badges, armbands, or visible press identification while reporting. The First Amendment protects the act of gathering and reporting news, not a special status that requires official ID. In plain terms, you don't have to wear like the press to be press, but it's not, let's see, restricted areas, crime scenes, disaster zones, courtrooms, political conventions. Those are examples of places that they're restricted to be away from.
So there are some situations where you have to say that you're the press.
Right. These are situational, not blanket. Yeah. Some places they require it.
Trey Inks wears it for his own protection.
Yeah.
When he's in Israel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? He's got the bulletproof vest that says press real big. Don't shoot at me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right. Oh, yeah. It's the Somali what?
The
Waltz.
Somali waltz.
The Somali waltz. Is it a waltz?
Well, it's a waltz, but they should have
Not a
spelt it. But I think they did it as a play on words for
Oh,
Tim Walz.
Ah, I am so stupid. Thanks, Ken. All right, coming up next, our great friend Mike Archer from the St. Louis County Council. He is here. He will be in the studio with us, and we'll talk about his aspirations. I think he wants to be county executive.
Let's go.
I'd vote for that.
Yeah, man.
He's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home. Yeah, baby.
The Somali waltz, it's the same old song. The Somali waltz, it's sad but true. They're screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken. Vic brings the thunder. Ken steals the thunder. Ken, Thunder Stealer. The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
I'm so stupid. Of course it's the waltz. I thought I was so smart because a waltz is 1, 2, 3, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, right? That's a waltz.
Right.
Which this is not. But it's his name.
Right.
Because he's such a douchebag. All right, let's talk about Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management. You know, when we get all worked up and everything, I think about Chris Cooper and I get calmed down right away. And then when you're talking about your money, because going to talk to somebody about your money is uncomfortable. I get that. Chris gets that so much, and that's why his approach is a little different. What does he want to do? He just wants to have a good conversation. That's where you start, at a good conversation. And then you'll learn so many tax-efficient solutions to hold on to more of your money. Chris always says, the retirement that you deserve. I love that phrase because it's not necessarily the retirement that we want. It's the retirement that we deserve. And that's why Chris will help you. He's got a radio show to tell you all about it. What station is that show on?
That's 101.9 94.1
What?
News Talk STL.
What?
Fun with finance.
What?
But it's not called that.
What's it called?
Serenity Wealth Now.
Fair enough. I'll tune in Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Serenity Now Talk. Oh, God. His new book, New Holistic. I always get confused with the New Holistic Retirement is free at serenitynowtax.com. We owe two people their money back for commercials today. serenitynowtax.com. Serenity Now, Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
I listen to News Talk STL on the app driving to work.
Download the News Talk STL app.
You got to get the News Talk STL app.
Love the app. Can listen anywhere in St. Louis.
And listen anytime.
News Talk STL right on my phone.
Anywhere.
This is Larry Connors, and my favorite sandwich at Capriati's is a Philly cheesesteak with peppers. Sweet peppers, but sometimes hot peppers. I love Capriati's, and so will you.
Open 9 to 9 daily on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
Hey, Colombo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Fox News Commentary with Jimmy Fallon next.
If you're over 40 and plan to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've built becomes just as important as growing it. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding gold and silver to their portfolios. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making investment decisions.
Here's Jimmy Fallon.
So New England Patriots coaching legend Bill Belichick was not voted into the National Football Hall of Fame. And I got to be honest, folks, this might be the biggest injustice in the history of football. Bill Belichick is the winningest Super Bowl coach of all time, with a grand total of 6 Super Bowl championships as a head coach, and he also won 2 more Super Bowls as the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. For context, the guy on the Super Bowl trophy, you know, the guy it's named after, Vince Lombardi, he's only won 2 Super Bowls. Now, some people say it's a penalty because the Patriots were once caught spying on another team. Others say it's a personal thing because Belichick beat everyone imaginable and they hate him for it. Regardless, keeping him out of the Hall of Fame is the mother of all bad ideas. Every single voter should get penalized for delay of game in the meantime.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
How dare you!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right, welcome home to 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. When we say number one for live and local conservative talk, this next segment is exactly what we mean.
Yep.
Joining us right now is Mike Archer from the St. Louis County Council. Mike, thanks for coming back to see us. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and thanks for inviting me.
I feel like you and Dennis and Mark are just always up against it, you know? There's never a 4-3 majority on our side at that stupid council. Why is that?
Well, you know, we got to get more Republicans on that council. And we're going to have the opportunity to get more Republicans because Lisa Clancy is up for re-election.
Oh, my God. That's when, November?
Yes. So, I mean, obviously, it's a very liberal area that she represents.
What is her area? Where is it?
It's like Webster Groves.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's going to
part
be
of
tough.
Kirkwood. Yeah. That, you know, it's going to be tough, but I mean, if you work it, man, I think that we've got a chance.
Yeah, I do too.
So yeah.
All right, so you brought in a very important document you wanted to share with us, Mike. Can you tell us a little bit about what you got there in front of you?
Yeah, I was given something. it is a complaint with the Missouri Ethics Commission. It's filed by a private citizen, and it's a matter of public record. It was specifically given to me because I am chairman of the Ethics Committee, and it alleges 44 different violations for Sam Page working outside of the St. Louis County Council in violation of Section 3.015, which says that the county executive shall devote his full time to that office. And
Can I stop you there for a second?
Sure.
How many years ago did Mark Harder drop off the charter, the county charter?
Oh, that was probably at least 3 years ago.
3 years ago, Mark Harder dropped off the St. Louis County
Maybe 4.
Council charter. And that was the one thing we kept going back to, was you have to dedicate your entire working hours to the council, not be an anesthesiologist on the side at Mercy Hospital.
Exactly.
And he violated that, obviously, 44 times.
Exactly. And Vic, you're probably going to ask the next question of what's different now from then.
In the charter, you mean?
No. No. And what happened was that we asked the voters to get our own attorney. And the voters said, yes, the St. Louis County Council needs their own attorney. And during that course of investigation, guess who writes the subpoenas? Guess who serves the subpoenas? At that time, it was the St. Louis County Councilor, and guess who their boss was? Sam Page.
Uh-huh.
And so, Mark would submit something to the St. Louis County Councilor for a subpoena or get it served. Oh, it would take maybe 2 weeks to get that subpoena written. Oh, we haven't gotten that served yet. They slow-walked everything. And now with our attorney, Mary Elizabeth Dorsey, and I got to plug her, put a plug in for her because, she is one of the sharpest attorneys I've ever worked with. Right. And you ask Mary Elizabeth to do something, and it's like she has telepathy, and she has it done, immediately. So that is a situation of where we've got good legal counsel, and if I ask for a subpoena, say for Medicare records or something like that, it'll be done within 24 hours, knowing Mary Elizabeth. And she or one of her associates will go out and personally serve it. So we're going to get some action on this, Vic.
So you mentioned 44 different violations.
Right.
Okay.
That is listed in the MEC report.
Okay. So I think we need to hear a few of those. But think about that for a second, Vic. If you and I working here, we have certain standards that we have to follow. Okay, and if we miss one, we're probably out.
Sure.
Because you want to have credible people working in these positions.
Of course.
Right? 44. I mean, 2 or 3, 5, 7,
right.
10, 30,
Once you get
39,
into the 40s.
44 of these. And I'm interested. I don't know about you, but I'm
totally.
really interested to hear a few of those.
Can we dig into a couple of them?
Yeah. Well, it is Medicare reimbursements. April 7th, 2022. There were 7 instances, and that was on December 31st, 2022. More recently, January 1st, 25 through July 31st, 25, there were 8 instances. There may be more for the year 2025. So with the records, then we move to the reimbursements. And I've got something here that says 22 claims were submitted as Sam Page being the provider. And the date on this one is 1/1/24 to 12/31/24. Wow. And then on another one, we have another, that's 24. We've got another 22.
Now, what are these? What are these?
Well, actually, what they came from was that there was a sunshine request by a private citizen, and she asked for the Department of Social Services to provide Medicare records where Dr. Page had submitted those for reimbursement.
And for doing his other job.
Well, unless he's doing anesthesiology up on the 9th floor, doing the other job. And here's my problem, Ken, is that, say, you are in the surgical theater. You're in the surgical suite, and he said a lot of it was volunteer. He was, an adjunct professor for St. Louis U. And, okay, that's all fine and good. And if he says, I didn't get any money, but what happens if we have a train derailment and hazardous gas is now spewing in the Afton-Lima area, our area?
Right.
And who is going to declare a state of emergency? Only Sam Page can declare a state of emergency under the charter, which, invokes certain privileges and rights for the police to go in, the hazmat teams, and that all, illuminates all sorts of bells and whistles. What if he's there? He can't leave. And and he has never notified Chairman, Retta Days, because the procedure is if he goes out of the country or something like that, or he is unable
on trial
or on trial, he has to give, he has to give his duties to the chairperson of the St. Louis County Council,
right.
and he hasn't done that yet since I've been on the council.
Wow.
So yeah, and go ahead.
I just have a question because I guess I don't understand it. If he does the anesthesiology or teaching at SLU voluntarily, I don't think that matters to me. This is just me. Okay?
Exactly.
It says in the charter, all time must be dedicated to this job. So I don't care if he's volunteering or making money. It goes against the charter, Mike.
It does go against the charter, but what I am doing is I'm anticipating the arguments, because those were the arguments when Mark Harder went after him about 3 years ago. And, you got to love liberals. This is a distinction. You got to love liberals. It's a distinction without a difference. When he says, well, I'm not getting paid. Well, it still takes time away from his duties as St. Louis County executive.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's
your whole point, Vic.
Yeah. And
that's Mark Archer from the St. Louis County Council. Okay.
Or Mike Archer.
What did I say?
I think he said Mark.
Well, Mark Harder and I,
it's like they're twins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm a better dancer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm better looking. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding.
Don't tell Mark that. I think you guys may know him.
Listen, Sam Page is going on trial. Has he? Help me with my. Is he stepped down from being the?
No.
Not stepped down, but not running again.
He's not running
again.
He
is not running again.
So he'll never be the St. Louis County executive
Correct.
again. So that's good. So this trial going on in Greene County, where they don't know Sam Page from any other Page,
right?
He could easily beat that and not get in any trouble. I guess I'm really vindictive here, and I want him to get into trouble.
Exactly, and I don't know the strength of the government case, and as you know, Vic, I spent 18 years in the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, so I'm a prosecutor by heart. So I don't know the strength of the government's case on that one, but I can tell you that Greene County, two things about Greene County, is as red as it can get.
Perfect.
So they do not like that.
Springfield, part of
exactly, Springfield. The other thing is I spent 4 years down there working for insurance companies, doing a lot of trial work. And the first thing that the partners told me was like, when you announce yourself in voir dire, say that you are from Springfield. Don't mention St. Louis. Everybody down there hates St. Louis lawyers. So it's going to be hard. And the Attorney General that is going to be trying the case, it's going to be like they're going to be in his backyard. And Catherine Hanaway and the Assistant Attorney General trying it, I think is going to have a very, very favorable jury.
So Catherine Hanaway is going to be in the courtroom doing this?
I don't know. There is.
That would be great.
I hear she's really good.
Oh, she is fantastic. She is fantastic. The last attorney of record that I saw for the Attorney General's office was a Sean McElprain.
Okay.
And I know him, and he is, to use the legal term, he's a trial stud.
Well, I hope we can see this no matter who it is, whether it's cameras allowed in the courtroom or whatever. Right. So we're running out of time here.
Right.
Mike, were you going to say something, Ken?
No, just about Sam Page over the years. He's just been so flipped, so dismissive. He's had people that he surrounded himself with that hated the county. He had people doctors flipping us off, and all that stuff builds up over time. And as a citizen of St. Louis County, I want to see him pay a price for if he did something illegal.
Right. And if he's found, obviously he has that presumption of innocence.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we get it.
Yeah, we have that in New Jersey. Yeah. Okay.
That's great, Mike.
Yeah, how you do it?
You do it.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think the government's got a strong case against him. I really do, but we'll just see. And he's got a lot riding on this, because if he gets tapped with a felony, he can say goodbye to his medical license.
All right. Is there anything else we need to know that's in that document that you have before we let you go?
Other than I will leave copies. And I ran into Tim Jones outside, and he said he wanted a copy. So
you mentioned Jane Duker's name when you walked in.
Right.
What's her role here?
Now she is with Catherine Hanaway. She accepted a job as an assistant attorney general.
Oh.
And basically, Catherine is going to be leaving Jane here in St. Louis City to clean up messes.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Well, she certainly knows her way around the city.
Oh, yeah.
So,
sure.
So and another lawyer whom I respect a great deal.
Who's that?
Jane Duker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant another.
Mary Elizabeth Dorsey, Jane Duker, Susie Moore.
Huh.
Those are all.
We know her.
Yeah.
We know Susie Moore.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get back to the county council for a second, because
sure.
I don't think we're going to find any Republican who can beat whoever's going to run in Webster Groves. Webster Groves and Kirkwood were the two high schools that let the kids go out and protest ICE.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Last Friday. So I don't know. I think it'll always be 4-3, and it just, I don't know. Since I've been in St. Louis, it's been that way.
Right. Well, at 4-3. There was a question as to whether or not Ernie was actually a Republican or not, but. That
Ernie Trachis?
Yeah, that's another story for another day. but it's if we even get somebody moderate in there, and part of her district also goes into Maplewood, so we've got all of that area. But I think that, we could work hard. We might be able to flip that seat. I'm not sure.
I would love it. I mean, God bless Rita Days. Sometimes she goes our way and surprises the heck out of us. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, how many times as a Democrat county executive goes to jail do you have to say, well, you know what? Hey, let's try another one. Let's try somebody else.
They're going to have a wing, a county executive wing at the jail.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mark Harder said. They're going to have the St. Louis County Executive Wing.
He stole that from me. Harder stole that from me.
Harder stole it
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, man.
Mike, we're out of time. Mike Archer from the St. Louis County Council. Aren't you running for county executive?
Oh, no. Dennis Hancock is.
Oh, that's right. You guys look alike.
No, you don't.
Not at all.
Not even close.
All right, so we're gonna sift through that as you walk out, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. And if we need you, we'll call you to come on back.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Mike Archer from the St. Louis County Council.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. We really appreciate it in such short notice anyway.
Well, thank you.
Coming in. Great effort coming into the studio.
Thank you.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
All right, now get out of here. That county council.
You gotta love them, man.
You gotta love them because it's good comedy. It's good comedy.
Yeah.
And
these guys work really hard for us. I mean, they really do.
I mean, when you leave the county council and now like voodoo is your hobby, or witchcraft, or whatever she's doing.
Yeah, Wiccan.
Hanaway, Hootaway, Markaway,
Dunaway.
Doodlyway, Hanaway. Jane Puszkar is next.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Iran is warning against a U.S. attack.
President Trump has dispatched an aircraft carrier and other warships to the Arabian Sea and has threatened military action against Iran over its bloody crackdown on protesters. The Iranian government is vowing to defend itself and respond like never before if the U.S. attacks, and warns of a regional war. On Sunday, the president was hopeful that a deal could be reached with Iran's supreme leader, but said if we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right. Greg Clugston, Washington.
2 police officers were shot near Atlanta, the latest in a series of separate incidents that have left at least 5 officers shot nationwide in recent days. Meanwhile, President Trump says he's instructed the Department of Homeland Security not to intervene in the protests in Democrat-run cities.
The crime-ridden cities are all Democrat-run cities. And if they want help, they have to ask for it. Because if we go in, all they do is complain.
About 150 million people were under a cold weather advisory on Sunday.
There were a good amount of record lows set in Florida yesterday, too. In fact, there were some record cold high temperatures yesterday.
David Roth with the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center forecaster Peter Molinack says that bomb cyclone really impacted the southeast and is not done yet.
We're looking at temperatures today that are going to largely remain below freezing from the Tennessee and Ohio valleys on east into the northeast, and especially in the Carolinas where temperatures are not going to get above freezing. Some areas there in western North Carolina and eastern North Carolina received, in some cases, record daily snowfall amounts, with a place like Charlotte, North Carolina, seeing 11 inches on the day yesterday, which is now a top 5 snow event all time there.
A furry forecaster made his prediction this morning at Gobbler's Knob.
Welcome to Punxsutawney!
Punxsutawney Phil's handlers say he did see a shadow, therefore is predicting 6 more weeks of winter weather. More from townhall.com.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. Now that we're finally into the new year, a lot of us are thinking about taxes, home projects we've been putting off, ways to get ahead financially in 2026. Now's the perfect time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. If you want to lower your mortgage payment, they can help you refinance. If you need access to cash for home improvements or to wipe out high-interest debt, their fixed-rate line of credit is one of the best tools out there. Fast approval, predictable rate, and flexibility to use your home's equity wisely. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. Imagine starting big projects or paying down debt with 2 months of breathing room. My family and I have used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Take control of 2026. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. or call 800-510-MIKE. That's 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Country Mart's massive meat sale this Thursday and Friday, February 5th and 6th. A sale so big we could only call it a massive meat sale. Premium sliced bacon, $3.49 a pound. Boneless ribeyes, $8.99 a pound. Baby back pork ribs, $2.99 a pound. Boneless pork loins, $1.89 a pound. Boneless beef tenderloins, $12.99 a pound. Visit our Facebook page to see everything. St. Clair Country Mart on Plaza Drive in St. Clair. Hurry while supplies last. Sorry, no rain checks.
There's something magical about walking into your backyard and knowing your family is completely safe and secure. Hi, I'm Sean Long, owner of STL Fence Works. That's the feeling my team and I have been creating for metro area families for more than 50 years. Whether you're adding your first fence or finally creating the outdoor sanctuary you've always wanted, We offer premium vinyl and stunning ornamental options, all designed around your family's specific needs and lifestyle. While other companies struggle with supply delays and rising costs, we've always proudly used all American-made materials, which means better pricing and faster installation for you. Our experienced craftsmen exemplify our motto, your satisfaction is our passion. From Warrenton to Wildwood, your neighbors trust us because we live here too. And we care about your project as much as you do. Right now is the golden time to build with flexible financing options and a commitment to completing your fence on time and on budget. Visit stlfenceworks.com.
Hey, it's Susie Moore with a reminder that for 20 years, Harpo's Chesterfield has been the heart of West County's fun. With their award-winning patio, voted best in West County, and excellent sports bar atmosphere, Harpo's is your one-stop destination. The mouth-watering menu has made them famous throughout St. Louis. Plus, they've got great drink specials and the friendliest, most energetic staff around. Whether you're dining in or carrying out, Harpo's delivers fun, food, and drinks like no one else. Harpo's Chesterfield. Call 636-537-1970 or visit harposstl.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, hour number 3. In case you missed it, Groundhog saw his shadow.
Yay.
Went back in his little hole or whatever you call it there, and we get 6 more weeks of winter out of it. It's a bunch of crap. All right, just an update. Authorities in Arizona confirmed that they have a crime. We do have a crime. That's how the sheriff in Tucson, Arizona has worded it about Savannah Guthrie's mother, who's 84 years old. This is a very frightening story.
It really is.
Because you think, oh, it never happens to people that are that famous, you know, but there's people out there that want to hurt people no matter who you are.
No matter who, yeah.
And then actually Michelle outside said, what if it's like a ransom thing?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe she's, we're thinking the worst, but maybe there's an opportunity that she's still going to be back.
I have no idea who did this, okay? We have a crime here, so I'm allowed to say somebody did something, right? 'Cause
Sure.
it's a crime. Who did this, especially if it's the worst possible outcome, that she's no longer alive, and the person that did it is an illegal alien, what are they going to say now on the NBC Today show?
Well, I don't know.
They'll bury it.
They're in a bit of a pickle, right?
Yeah.
Jane Puszkar, Francis Howell, how you doing?
Fine. How are you doing, Vic?
Good to
Ken.
see you.
Hey,
we thought you didn't like us anymore. We haven't seen you in here in a long time.
I've been hunkered down. It's cold.
Hunkered down, Ken. Is that a reasonable excuse?
Yeah, when you hunker down, it means you're getting warm.
Yeah.
So, she's hunkering.
Yeah.
She's hunkering.
I'm planning my next steps is what I'm doing.
Right. And that's part of hunkering down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's part of planning.
Okay. Got it.
I think.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He knows what he's talking
I
about.
have no idea.
Sounded good.
All right, so listen, there's a fundraiser coming up. We'll talk about that at the end because Jane is running for re-election to the Francis Howell School Board. We hope you win that, of course. But the big call to action, all in capital letters, urgent call to action, gutting the library policy at Francis Howell School District. Now,
They're
what's
changing
going on?
it for sure, yes.
What's going on?
Well, the system was overwhelmed. Instead of when we passed that policy, thinking that there were 89 books in there, it seems that there's like over 100. So when they all got challenged at the same time, it created a real dilemma for those that had to organize the committees of 9 people. So we had a policy meeting a couple of weeks ago, and what they decided to do was change up the policy so that instead of 9 people on the committee, there's now 5. And one of those is a librarian. Now, never in the history of Francis Howell School District that I know of has a librarian ever voted to take a book out of the library.
Never, no.
Yeah, so now you're down to 5 people, so you only got 2 more. So it looks like it's not fixing the problem. I think it's compounding it, in my estimation, because we're going backwards. We're not going forwards. This in no way fixes it. It takes us back to the time when parents only challenged 2 books over 5 years because they knew.
All right.
that they weren't going to be removed.
I need to ask, what is the ideology of the 5 people? Political ideology.
Oh, well, it's a new committee for every book. So there's a parent, I forget.
Wait, there's a committee for every book?
Yeah, a committee is formed for each and every book. Yeah, that sounded like a red
lot
pill
of
to me.
people.
Yeah, it is. It is. It still is. So, and
okay. Well, why couldn't they just take 9 people instead of 5, which I think is better to have a discussion, debate, whatever. But then also introduce all the books to those 9 people.
Right.
Why couldn't they do that?
yeah, I think because you have to read the book, so it would be kind of onerous.
I don't know how to read, Ken. That's
well, I don't know how to
Some of
read.
them
You got
don't
to
know how
actually
to-
read. Yeah, you got to read the book.
But
So nobody wants to read, 5 books, and I mean, people got lives, and don't look at me like that.
No,
Vic.
no, it's not you.
no, that's not you.
My face is to the people who don't want to read the books and still make decisions
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I mean,
Well-
what kind of books are we
Well,
talking about? War and Peace?
It's not. No, it's not only that. It's compounded by the fact that the parents are afraid of retribution. When they know when some administrators and our teachers know that certain parents lean to a conservative view, they don't like that because they don't believe in that.
When it comes to my children, I don't care.
I know.
I really don't. And you can look at me any way you want, as long as you're doing something legal and it's not illegal toward me. Go for it. Do what you got to do.
But also, there's the possibility, and some people agree with that, but the possibility of their child having a special place on a cheer squad or something, taken away, or their child going from
What?
straight A's. That
The
happens.
Retribution against the kids?
I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Ken, that's just not fair.
That's out of line.
That's out of line.
I know.
You know what?
I know.
If they find that happening, they should remove those people from.
They're
from
not going to.
Well,
because they're libs anyway who make the decision.
Yeah.
I don't believe. I mean, I believe
That's
it.
terrible.
And if your
It's
child
awful.
has straight A's, chances are on subjective papers or whatever that the children are writing, their grades might go down.
See,
Imagine
that goes back to a parent though, because I know for a fact that we watched our children's grades very closely and the reasons why they had the grades they did.
Mhm.
And when there was a question, I actually went to the school a couple of times and talked to the teachers and found out, oh, wait a minute, I guess it wasn't because of that. They can actually, the grade, with regard to the grades, the parents have a lot of power there. I'm just saying.
I
well,
agree with that.
That's my call to action, is parents get involved.
Yeah.
Come to the school board meetings, volunteer for these committees, let the administration know exactly what you're thinking, and don't be afraid of retribution.
Can I tell a quick story here? We got
Oh,
time for
yeah.
a quick story? My son bullshooted his way through school.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
Instead of doing work, he would make a film. He would talk to the teacher and say, hey, can I make a film on this? Film? Oh, my God. So he never did any work. He just made these films that got all good grades.
But he was working.
Yeah, right, but not to him. Okay.
Okay.
He
enjoyed it.
He had this media class, right? He comes to me. Him and Kevin Shable come to me on a Thursday night, and they say, "Hey, we got to make this film. Will you write it with us and be in it?" Mom, yeah, sure. When's it due? Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Right?
6 hours. They made a film that they still show today at Parkway South. They
That's
still show Chris's
awesome.
film. Yeah. So he made this. This was in middle school. It was the Science Zone instead of the Twilight Zone. It was the Science Zone.
Oh.
And it was all about smog in the air, and I had to drive him down to the brewery, and he took footage of the smoke coming out of the smokestacks, right? And I even said to him, I said, what kind of music are you going to use for this? And he goes, oh, I don't know. What do you think? I said, how about Breathe from Pink Floyd? That, by the way, got him into Pink Floyd. He's way into Pink Floyd, not because of that.
Yeah.
So, and then at the very end, okay, so the Porcellis have a fog machine. So what? What are you going to do about
What
it?
are you going to say?
We got a fog machine. So the fog machine goes off, and then when all the smoke goes away, there's Chris standing like Rod Serling, even with his fingers like he's holding a cigarette. He wasn't, but he had it look like he
Right.
was. And he goes, file this one under S for the smog in the Science Zone. So we handed it in, and the teacher gave him a C on the
Oh.
film.
Okay.
Well, you talked about going in.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
my wife walked into any of those schools, the administrator peed a little bit because she was walking in, okay? So she went into the principal, showed her the film, goes, what would you have graded this film? Oh, my God, this is great. This would be an A. Yeah, teacher gave him a C because she didn't like my son because my son was the class clown. You got anything to say about that?
I'm waiting for you.
I'm going to withhold my remarks.
You're both playing it very safe. That's good. Anyway, he did get the A. But the point is that one teacher didn't like him and one did, and it's hard for the kid to understand.
Yeah.
Same thing with the books that the kids are reading. Right?
Yeah. Well, and the retribution is really a real thing. We haven't been able to set up a TPUSA chapter in any of the high schools because they have to have a teacher sponsor, which I think should be. You can't, you have to have a teacher.
Of course.
So they won't do it, or what?
We had one teacher that was going to do it that I know of, and then backed out. And I'm fairly certain it might have been because of pressure.
They took him outside and roughed him up.
Broke his kneecaps.
That's just way too political for our children's education system.
I know,
This
but
is
that's
too
what
much
it's become a
politics.
battleground. It truly is, and I believe it's a spiritual war.
You know, what Ken just said there is exactly perfect and right. Because before all this, was there any problem with the library ever? Was there ever a problem with your library when you went to school?
No.
Or you?
No.
It's when they started to put the porn in, because everything's got to be porn and sex and
Political,
gay and all that crap now.
Ideological.
We wouldn't have a problem.
You have
if
to be
everybody-
inclusive.
Yeah. So if everybody would just back off,
right,
and let the library do and let the kids do what they want to do.
Let kids be kids.
Let kids be kids.
Because that's not where this is headed right now. We're putting way too much on these kids that they aren't mature enough to handle or to reason. But hopefully. Yeah.
So if you're to have a TPUSA chapter, a lot of children might be interested. Can all those children, like as a group, go in and say, "Look, we need someone. We're here. We're ready to start a chapter. Let's go. We need to find someone," and put that on the feet of the principal.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the answer
because
is.
because you can't just say, "Well, no," because no one wants to do it. Well, okay.
That's
sorry.
a generalization, isn't it?
Right.
Very much so.
So that's my call to action. Parents get involved. Teachers get involved.
So there's got to be somebody listening right now in the Francis Howell School District, the parent, or well, no, I guess they're in school now, the teachers and stuff. But there's got to be more than one conservative teacher there that would go ahead and lead this TPUSA, isn't there?
You would hope. Would hope.
No.
But they haven't stepped up yet.
I'm telling you, they take you out back and they rough you up. Two guys hold your arms, punch you in the stomach. You're not going to do this, TPUSA. No, I won't do it.
So you want to do the TPUSA thing? Okay, come here a minute.
They bring Uncle Rocco in to rough the guy up. So
I identify as Italian.
What had a girl? What can we do to help you?
Keep the conversation alive by letting me come back on as often as you will allow me to and discuss these things, and hopefully sometime. And I'll make rounds all over. We're talking about it constantly. We've got a lot of stuff on social media that outlines some of the things going on, but we're just hoping that the conservatives unite and get together and decide that they're going to move forward and do something rather than sit back and not. I know they're paying attention, but get active and do things.
And if you're a conservative parent right now and you're hearing all this stuff going on, this really should be angering you.
They might not know what's going on.
And they may not know what's going on.
That's true too.
But if you are, and even if you can like tag team, have the woman or the man or vice versa do one thing and then have the other one do the other, and then come together in the evening and sit with your children and say, okay, what's going on now? And be a part of that. I'll tell you right now, if you got small children especially, this is going to go by so quickly. And I regret one situation that came up with my daughter, Madison. She in first grade told me later, like when she was a junior or senior, and by then it was too late, the woman was gone. But that teacher treated her horribly. And she goes, "Dad, I was so afraid to go to the class.
Wow.
And I didn't even know it. And I felt so much like I let her down. As a parent.
You didn't, first of all.
But I didn't.
You didn't.
I know, but still, man. I mean,
No, I get you,
got to
man.
be
I get
involved.
you. When it's your
At least
daughter.
you try.
I just want to remind the two of you that COVID alerted us to what the kids are learning in school.
You got that right.
When they had to learn from home, right?
Yep.
And you saw it in the school. What the hell is this? What are they doing?
Right.
Right?
Right.
So my point actually is a problem, because our kid's going to go home and say, hey, there was a drag queen, reading us a history book. I mean, they might not.
Right. They might not.
The parents have to find out. Are you allowed to audit a class as a parent?
You have to sign up for it. Yes, you can sit
at
in
any
there.
time.
But you
Oh,
can.
well,
though,
I don't
right?
know about any time. I don't know what the schedules are and things, but yes, you can. A parent can request to sit in and audit a class.
I think. What were you going to say? Because I think
It's
you were
just
going to
so
say something.
convoluted though, because if you have to sign up, prepare, set the date, and then you come in,
They fix it.
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
They
even.
rig it.
As
Yeah.
a board member,
Yeah.
I can't even go in unannounced. I have to make appointments.
I get vetting a parent as a parent when they walk in the door.
Right.
But this whole thing about planning,
Yeah.
that teacher can easily go, okay, kids, today we're not going to do what we normally do. Here's our new curriculum for today.
That is such crap, Ken, right?
Yeah, but I believe that they do that.
Of course they do. They rig everything. My father, well, the reason he came in order to the class because I was a terrible kid at school, And boy, I didn't say a word that day because he had the face on. You know the face?
Oh yeah.
They fought for 1,000 years, and they'll fight for another 1,000 years. That face he had, and I was so scared, So I didn't say a word, but I still got yelled at somehow. Yep. All right, so you are running for re-election.
I am in the middle of campaign.
And you have a fundraiser coming up.
We do on Friday the 13th, which I thought was a perfect.
I love that.
It is a perfect night, and it's also stop laughing.
I'm
it was
not.
a cheap date for you to bring your wife to a meet and greet the candidates running for the Francis Howell School Board. The only thing is you must RSVP or you might be turned away from the door. We need to, have your name before you can go in. But please text your name and how many people would be going to 636-866-1510, and I'll cover that again. The Soda Museum is in St. Charles on Main Street.
We were there. We did our Christmas party there at the Soda Museum.
It's a neat. That's a neat place.
Love
it really is.
They even have old pinball machines and stuff.
I know, yeah.
So if you have your pencil ready now, it's texted to 636-866-1510, and if you don't know it, just text Ken. He'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But
look at her pushing you around.
He'll just send it to me. But I just wanted to say that I'm in the middle of campaign season. I've got 3 pillars to my campaign. The first one, of course, is fiscal responsibility. I do believe that we can do always a better job in making sure that we spend our funds wisely and on things that really help the kids. I'm also running on parental rights, which means you as a parent, you do have rights, and you do have the right to be active, and please get involved. And also on research-based curriculum and resources. And I say research-based because there's a push kind of for us to start looking at one-on-one technology, which means that everybody gets a computer, which means that a kid's going to be staring at a screen pretty much all day long. I read reading a book, Digital Delusion, which says that's not how kids learn. The process of hearing it, processing in your brain, writing it on paper, embeds it in your memory. Staring at a screen, you don't do that.
I can't believe you said that. When Mia was in middle school, that's how they wanted to teach the kids.
Yeah.
With the computer screen. Well, Jessica went in there.
Yeah.
Because this was Mia's life, okay? Lecture, take notes, study, take the test. That was how she excelled in school, and then they changed it on her, and I didn't think that was fair.
Yeah.
I'm a big...
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. They didn't. They had her change based on what they were doing, and it was probably something she just wasn't used to. I agree with having computers for the kids, though.
Well, yeah,
but it has to
for
be
some things.
But it has to be parsed out in a way that there's a certain time for that, and there's a certain time for the one-on-one with the teacher.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, Jane Puszkar from the Francis Howell School Board. I'm going to ask a really ignorant question here as we wrap up. What town is Francis Howell in?
St. Charles County.
St. Charles County.
Well, the
So that's
home
Freedom.
offices are in O'Fallon.
That's more Freedom County, right?
Oh, yeah.
Conservatives aplenty up there.
Yes.
So let's go.
Thank you so much for having me back, and I'll
Stand
be
up
back
for Jane.
like a bad headache. Okay.
This is for you.
Yeah, Jane's going to
Rocky.
fly now.
Going to fly now? Thank you for coming in.
No, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jane.
Jane Puszkar from the Francis Howell School District. I swear to God, some of the things I hear about going on in school, my father is rolling in his grave. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Because he was an educator and a principal. And my mother was an educator, too. All right, Doug Blair with the East Coast Report is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken. Ken can dunk a basketball. Vic can dunk a donut. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new News Talk STL app.
And listen anytime, anywhere.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Link, owner of the Dental Link. You've heard ads about teeth in a day, but did you know that you will be chewing on plastic, acrylic teeth? Here at the Dental Link, we can give you porcelain crown and bridge teeth utilizing mini dental implants that function much more like real teeth at about half the cost. Plus, mini dental implants are less invasive, less painful, and your recovery time is much shorter. Give us a call at 314-794-6464 or simply visit us today at thedentallink.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common-sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
You know what's going on?
Have a great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke.
News Talk STL.
Until it's not.
News, analysis, opinion.
Shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Shut up.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Who does Nancy think she's talking to there?
I know.
So April 7th, Jane forgot to mention, is the election. April
7th.
We don't equate elections in April much.
No.
So it's always November, you know. So we need to remind people about that. It's coming up in a couple of months.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that getting out there, just taking your time and doing it. I mean, that's, you know what? Sometimes in these type of elections during that time period, there's so few people going out there. One vote means so much.
Yeah. Right. We talk about percentages when the numbers are that small. It doesn't matter. Just so get out there and do it, okay? Hey, Tim and Chris, our afternoon show. The handsome former Speaker of the House, Tim Jones, and the handsome Chris Armstrong at the Missouri GOP State Lincoln Day. He'll get mad if I don't call him.
Well, of course he is.
Because he's handsome, too.
He is, too.
The GOP State Lincoln Day is in Springfield on February 20th. It runs from February 20th through the 22nd at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center in Springfield. Get more information at NewstalkSTL.com.
This just in. For the latest news from the D.C. swamp and beyond, this is the Vic Porcelli Show East Coast Report with Douglas Blair on News Talk STL.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
DouglasBlair.substack.com. Am I right?
Say it with more confidence, Vic.
Okay. All right. Let me try it again. DouglasBlair.substack.com.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Incredible. Phenomenal. Well done.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So listen, I just want to ask you a question because you're in D.C., right? So you're hearing all the inside dope and all that stuff. So now Trump is going to close the Kennedy Center for a couple of years to work on it. And now that sucks. Everything, you know what I mean? He left it there. That sucks. He's going to work on it. That sucks. There's no, you can't try to please the left because there's no pleasing them. They're little babies.
No, I mean, I think that this is also really awkward timing, though, because what's been going on in D.C., at least, is that there's kind of been a joke that every single act that was going to play at the Kennedy Center has since pulled out, specifically since the name change, which fundamentally I think is stupid on both sides of the aisle. I think Trump doesn't need to add his name to this. There's bigger priorities when you be focusing on than getting into a spat about what this Kennedy Center is named. I don't really hear anybody actually call it the Trump Kennedy Center, so this is political capital that we're burning. But then secondarily, it's a name. Seriously, get over it. Like, you can go and perform at what is considered to be one of the premier performing venues in the country, and you can suck it up. And people paid a lot of money to go and see these shows.
So what
they've
if
now decided that they're going to be little babies about it?
What if they think they're going to cooties by playing in a place that has Trump's name on it? Come on.
Yeah, it's like
little
it's like
babies.
Foxy, it's like you're going to get a disease or something, which is stupid. Again, but like I fundamentally, I think that this is one of those things where Trump has gotten distracted. There are really large issues facing the country right now, and D.C. in particular, there are large issues facing it. Obviously, the National Guard has been doing a good job of keeping crime down, but there's still issues going on in the Capitol. Crime isn't gone. The D.C. mayor's office has been collaborating with a lot of these leftist mayors and leftist governors across the country. You're still seeing a lot of the problems that were prior to Trump here. So if he wants to do stuff in D.C., there are plenty of targets that he can do, and I'm a little bit sad that we've now closed down the Kennedy Center for 2 years for renovations on which I am not 100% clear what they are.
But it's going to look so beautiful when it's done.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't doubt that renovations are they're going to be positive renovations. I mean, but again, I'm very happy to be wrong on this, but I thought the Kennedy Center looked fine just the way that it did. So if it turns out to be like a beautiful building that I'm like, 2 years, this is like, give it another 5 and it'll be like a golden palatial complex. That's one thing, but I don't know. I think that, there are other things that we could be focusing on other than renovating this building.
You know what? It just doesn't matter because they're just going to.
I agree.
If Donald Trump said, my God, we found a cure for cancer, how about that? You would find people protesting for cancer outside the White House. We love cancer. We hate Trump.
Well, that makes sense, Vic, because because they do now. They say, we love criminals. We love illegals.
Right.
Well, this is where Trump's 4D chess should be coming into play, where he should be pushing for things that are like, actually, we're gonna, it's like the house prices going up thing, right? Where it's like, we're gonna say this, and it's like, actually, we're in favor of having the prices go down. And he's like, great, so am I. Let's work on getting house prices down.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one thing after the next. All right, so do you know anything about the story about Savannah Guthrie's mother?
I have not heard about this, Vic. Why don't you let it out? What's going on?
She's missing. The
dear.
sheriff of Tucson, Arizona says we have a crime scene. So everybody's biggest fear is that is she dead, And being the big dick that I am, what if an illegal alien killed Savannah Guthrie's mother? What is the left going to do?
Oh, I mean, it's become one of those things where they're not going to acknowledge it. I think this is sort of the sad reality of the thing is that we are now in a society where the only thing that matters is how it lines up with your priors. And now the left has been horribly guilty of this for decades. The right has started to move in this direction, which I'm not super thrilled about. But I mean, I think that the thing that's the most fascinating about it is Ashley Babbitt on January 6th, who did nothing wrong in the sense that she didn't commit any violence. She didn't actually, hurt anybody. She wasn't like committing a crime other than trespassing, was shot in the face by a Capitol Police guard and is considered to be utter scum by the radical left. However, you've got Renee Good and Alex Priddy out there who were actively messing with federal law enforcement's capacity to do their job. So in a way, considering what they were so mad about with Ashley Babbitt, they should be just as pissed off about these two. But no, these are martyrs for the cause. They should be lionized. We need 50 billion murals of them in every city. We're going to have, obviously they're not black, so we're not going to do the, Wakanda Forever salute. But, there's going to be some sort of, memorial service for them about how heroic they are. And it's wildly inconsistent. It's the same behavior, and yet they seem to think that this is an acceptable way to go about things. And I guess one of the things that bothers me about that, too, is it's so blatant. Like, you don't have to actually wait to understand the facts. You just have to wait and see how it affects the Trump administration or Republicans, and you can 1,000% know which direction the left is going to lean on it.
Exactly right. All right, last night was the Grammys, pretty much a shoot show. Almost everybody who won said, "I sucks." Be a little creative, will you? Think of something else to say.
Yeah,
and nobody cares about that.
I think one of the things that I was really noticing about that was obviously the big one was Billie Eilish, who's like, no ICE on stolen land, yada, yada, yada. There's this thing that they cry about stolen land all the time. One of the things that really tugged at me, though, is, okay, so let's say the left believes that we are on stolen land, that we took it from the Indians, we took it from the Native Americans, and that this is a gracious or a grievous wrong that must be corrected, right? What is their solution? Import the third world. What is their solution? Bring in hundreds of millions of illegal immigrants. So is this helping the Indians to get their land back by giving the land that supposedly belongs to them to illegals? Isn't this kind of the problem? Don't they claim that, the white settlers that came here hundreds of years ago were illegal settlers and colonialists and that they should be removed? Why is now suddenly it's okay if it's, Guatemalans or Nicaraguans or whoever that's now suddenly taking over this land? That just, it seems so contradictory and so hypocritical that it's like, it's okay if brown people do it, but if white people do it, it's the worst thing ever. And we have to, flagellate ourselves for this original sin for all time.
It's all virtue signaling. They call it Turtle Island. The United States is Turtle Island, and it was taken over by just colonists. And the fact is, if you look at history, humankind has always taken over the land. And no matter who you are, if you're the Aztecs, Incas, Mayas, the Indians, they took over land at one point. Before the Crusades happened with the Spanish Inquisition and all that stuff. I mean, you can go on down the list. Every place that's had humankind has been conquered, and and you know what? The first slaves actually were white people. So let's go way back. If you go back thousands of years, white people were the first slaves. So stop.
Well, where's the word come from?
Because
the word comes from Slav, which is
exactly right. Yeah,
group from the Eastern Caucasus.
They were the first slaves, and
100%.
So they need to get educated before they open their stupid mouths.
Stupid mouths, Doug. Stupid.
I completely agree.
Mouths.
Completely agree, Vic. The stupidest mouths. But I will say this. I think that there is a trend now that these weird stump speeches that celebrities do at the Grammys, that they do at the Oscars, that they do at the Golden Globes or whatever, it actually does push people in the opposite direction. So I was noticing to myself, too, as I was watching this, it felt like an artifact. It literally felt like I was Indiana Jones, digging through the ruins of 2016, where this behavior might have actually meant something. Back in 2016, you had this, woke mind virus that had corrupted almost every single person in positions of power. And now it felt so like archaic. Like this isn't actually change people's minds. Like people don't get fired anymore for, not posting the black square. Now, Billie Eilish might feel like she has to do this, otherwise she's going to get mobbed by, her leftist cronies and her quote unquote friends that would probably eat her alive if they had the chance. But the average American doesn't look at this and say, yes, how brave, how amazing, how wonderful these people are for going up there. They roll their eyes and say, this is true. So just sing the damn song.
My wife was watching this stuff. I didn't watch it last time, but I know she was. And I'm like, she's like, she rolled her eyes. She literally rolled her eyes. And I'm like, so are you enjoying this? She goes, it gets so tedious and boring and tiring, actually, to see these people come up on the stage. I sucks. Here's what I believe. Bye. And it's like, shut up.
All right. I just want to fit one more thing in here, and then we got to let you go, Doug. But Jelly Roll came out with a Bible and urged people to get back to faith. I think that is the courageous thing to do in that atmosphere.
I would agree. And again, it's one of those things where it actually does require a set of balls to go out and do that in Hollywood, because the sense that like going out and saying I support Palestine or I support transgenderism or I support it's nobody's going to push back on that. The reason that people are saying like, oh, it's so courageous to do those things back in like the 70s is that you would get pushback. Obviously that would happen. Now it's like, every single other person in that room, maybe except for Jelly Roll, agrees with you. You're not courageous for saying what everybody's thinking. Going out there and saying, I'm a Christian, I profess my faith, and this is what guides me, that is courageous, because every single other person in that room now thinks you're a bigot and a racist, which is, I mean, he's not, but it definitely requires courage to go out there and buck the norm.
Exactly right. All right, note the confidence. DouglasBlair.substack.com.
Incredible. You nailed it.
Doug, we'll talk next week. Thank you so much.
All right, see you next Monday, guys.
And see you, Doug.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
The one Grammy I cared about, Buddy Guy, won the Grammy Award for Best Traditional Blues Album called Ain't Done with the Blues.
You got that.
Buddy Guy, the legend, still alive and still playing the blues. Chatbox is next. on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Town of Rolling Stone will be back. And what did I say? I said Rolling Fork, Rolling Stone. I got my mind going here.
Whoosh. On News Talk STL. Columbo and Company.
Join us every day for conversations with a wide variety of guests as we keep you informed and up to speed on all the important news and headlines you need to know.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
1949, the last time a Republican held the top post in St. Louis City. A gallon of milk was 84 cents and streetcars ran down Grand Avenue. Unfortunately, St. Louis City streets are no longer the epicenter of family and business life. In the 80 years of Democrat control, our city has been on a steady decline.
Hello, Kirk Ilsinger, chairman of the Republican Party for the city of St. Louis, and we believe it is our duty to provide a different path forward. I invite you to our meetings the first Thursday of every month. Learn more at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Producer Joey V from the Tim Jones and Chris Arps Show here, reminding you don't waste a buck on movies that suck. Tune in to Joey V's Movies, Fridays at 5:45 for reviews you can trust. Brought to you by Harry J. Steakhouse and Ami's Pizza.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Two sounds that can wreck your sleep. A drip and a toilet that won't stop running.
Drip, drip, all night.
Good news. We're doing plumbing now. Same folks, same care, same we do it right.
Leaky faucet, running toilet.
Or a stubborn clog, call Grasser.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. When you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org to learn more.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the star of Lizzie Borden Had an Axe, Sprouts, and Death Comes a Nightfall. Ranked 893,361 on IMDb. This is Vic Porcelli.
Who's this?
Bowling for Soup.
Oh, I like them. They did the Phineas and Ferb theme song.
They did, and you remember? I don't know if you remember the band Colony, Ted Bruner, locally here.
Yeah.
Okay, Ted was really big with me at the River Homegrown and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He wrote songs for Bowling for Soup. 1984, I believe it was called.
Didn't we literally go bowling with Bowling for Soup?
We did, yeah.
At the Pinup Bowl on Delmar.
Right.
Fun.
This was 1985. There was another song that actually Ted wrote for them.
And most importantly, the Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly right.
Mom,
yeah.
Phineas is making a title sequence.
If you look it up, I think it's called Ohio that he wrote.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. All right, let's cut the crap here and get into our chat box. Coyote Rumble. We had some Rumble problems this morning. Okay, I don't think we needed to run through all that, right?
Yeah, that just it wasn't us. It was them.
Hey, Allison Schottenhamel took another trip around the sun. Did we miss her birthday? Did we miss Allison's birthday?
I don't know.
Sorry, Allison. We love you to death. You know that. Happy birthday. Just because you're nuts doesn't mean I have to buy a ticket on your crazy train.
Huh.
That's G-SCO. I don't know.
Well,
context would be great.
Yeah, behind the scenes, it was funny because Vic, what was he saying? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's being nice. I have no idea.
Ken calmed me down. I was ready to go find him and strangle him. But Ken calmed me down.
But he's someone we haven't heard from. So.
Hey, how you doing?
And Allison says, Shalom, Karen.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Because he's a mensch.
Ciao. Aloha. And whoosh.
And whoosh.
They're all the same.
Right.
They?
Yeah,
whoosh. Good morning. I'm late, but that's a sign business is picking up. Well, that's good.
That's
Appreciate
good stuff
that.
there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariff.
No peace.
President Melania is amazing. Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump. So Melania, the movie,
right,
is the highest grossing documentary in a decade.
Yeah.
I'm sure a ton of woke, stupid documentaries came out in the last 10 years.
Oh, are you kidding? Many, many.
And Melania's is great. I love the trailer. I just love the trailer.
Yeah.
Especially when she smiles and she's having a good time. And then she's walking with that badass hat that she had on. And she looks at the camera guy and goes, "Here we go again."
Well, yeah, I know. I love that.
Second inauguration. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
No, and I think Rob referenced it a bit, but this should tell any of these woke people who are trying to actually make money doing these films and documentaries, maybe cater to both sides of the aisle, and then you won't have most of the country, and I will say not just half, but most of the country be absent from it.
And don't assume that everybody is a liberal. Right?
No, that's my whole point.
Kristen Welker on Meet the Press, did you notice that she had Ken Burns at the end of the show? Did an interview with Ken Burns?
No.
The filmmaker, the documentary maker who did baseball and jazz and...
No, I didn't see that part.
Ken Burns is a lib. There's just no two ways about it. Even the baseball documentary was left-leaning a little bit. But it still was a fabulous documentary on baseball. And it was in 9 parts, 9 innings.
Ah.
That's what they called them, 9
okay.
innings. So cool. So great.
And I don't know if you noticed, but we have
Yes,
Kristen
we do.
Welker
On fire back there.
Well, I asked ChatGPT to put a hellish background because she was the devil this weekend.
She was.
She was terrible.
And there she is at the gates of hell right there.
And look at the look on her face, though. That's what made me think about it.
Okay. I'm going
horrible.
to sound a little sexist here, I guess, okay? She's not ready for that job. She's not ready for that job.
She gets
I'm sorry.
too angry.
She's too worried about what the left is going to say if she's too easy on any conservative of any kind.
Not only that, but when you raise your hand, okay, when I'm driving the car, my wife gets nervous. She brings her hand up like she's scared. And if she gets nervous...
When you're driving?
Yes, when I'm driving. And I drive very good, knock on wood. But her hand, I know that it's the more anxious she gets, her hand gets a little higher. I watched Kristen Welker, and while she's talking, she asks a question of the person, and usually it's a Republican, and then after she asks the question, her hand goes up like, I'm going to say something else.
Yeah.
Just get ready because I'm going to say something else here. And her hand stays up, and I'm like, stop for a second. Take a deep breath.
The one thing I feel bad about for her is that somebody's saying in her ear, somebody's finding all the vile questions to ask any conservative in her ear to ask the person that she's interviewing.
I have no doubt about that.
Good morning, all you beautiful, mega, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, garbage-and degenerate, freedom-fighting, God-fearing, Vic-head weirdos. Whoosh!
Whoosh.
Allison, happy birthday. We love Allison to death.
Hey, here's to you, Allison.
All right. Happy birthday, Allison! You and Ken can have your little science conversation because I don't get it. She said Earth takes approximately 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds to compose one full revolution around the sun. And you did some science stuff at the beginning there.
Yeah, the Earth travels 1.6 million miles a day around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour.
I'm not listening to you. Could you imagine me in school? Ed Stoy, thank you. Allison says, thank you, Ed Stoy. Appreciate that. Don Lamont is an instigator. It says Don Lemon. I don't really.
I get it.
I don't really know.
I like it,
saying
actually.
that because I like our own to do something ourselves. Because that was a Tucker thing. Tucker made that up. Don Lemon.
I like the freedom to choose.
The freedom to choose is an instigator, hypocrite, not a journalist, and now criminal. Throw the book at him. Just got a message that. Vic and Ken. Broadcast award winners, not any other show, is what Ed's trying to say. Not even any other new show that may be popping up anywhere. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Hey, it's good to see you.
You know what, Grasser grandson, it's good to see you too, kid. I love you. Good news when you get here late. I catch Bluey, Todd, and Kataline on the replay. Thank you. Appreciate that. We appreciate your dedication to the show. Hey, good to see you. It says, now hit the like button. Hey, you know what Ed says?
What?
Shen Yun.
Woo! Shen Yun. Can't he say?
My poor wife. The only time I won't do it is when she is asleep. If she's asleep,
oh, yeah.
I'll go like this with the huck'em horns. Woo!
And
fingers.
I don't do it as loud as you, but when the commercial comes on and she looks over at me and waits, and I do it on purpose. I'll hold off, and she go, just do it. And I go, Shen Yun. And she moves on.
See, my wife is not that patient at all. When I do Shen Yun, woo, she looks at the calendar. Says, oh, I got 2 more months of this. It's March 21st and 22nd. Shen
Because
Yun.
you'd be in jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Shen Yun translate to the beauty of divine beings dancing, derived from the Chinese words Shen, meaning divine, and Yun, meaning Ken Williams. That's weird.
That's
Yun
really weird.
means Ken Williams?
Huh. I didn't know. Just call me Yun. Yun.
Call
But
me
the-
Shen
but
for
say
short.
Yun.
Yun. I do not follow a groundhog in Pennsylvania. Groundhog in this area would not have been not seen his shadow here. Would not have. So I would have optimism. Go away, winter. Boy, I'm for that. Did you know the libs want to the PETA wants to replace groundhog with something that's not really an animal?
I don't care.
What the hell? We can't have any fun.
No.
No more fun. Every Democrat should run on the platform. No more fun.
Stop your fun laughing. Is that laughter? Stop it.
What are you smiling?
Cut it out.
Are you chewing gum? Bring enough for everyone?
All right.
Bring common sense back, please.
Exponentially.
A separate committee for books is just plain stupid. Talking about Jane Puszkar.
Yeah.
And they want to keep the porn books and get rid of the good books. I don't
Y'all fired.
Can I see your freedom shirt? Remember when Kamala said she yelled freedom when she was a little girl?
Yeah, freedom, mommy.
Was that the same freedom? God, they're so...
Such bull.
They will say anything. I swear to God. They will say anything. I'm surprised that Joe Biden didn't say he signed the Declaration of Independence.
I really was there. You may not realize this, but I was.
I saw in London that a Christian march in a Muslim area was denied. But if it was the opposite,
We're heading down that path, everybody. I'm telling you right now, and it's behind the scenes right now. We're not hearing a lot about it because we're focused on all this other stuff. But I guarantee you, Islam is invading this country.
No doubt.
Right now.
Islam,
yes.
That teacher needs a good lawyer to sue the school if they intimidate in any way. They didn't intimidate. They brought her outside and beat him up. I'm kidding. That's humor.
Right.
People, they'll take everything seriously when you say something. I don't think a parent has to sign up. They hide the stuff that way. Absolutely. So okay, you ready? Francis Howell parents, here's what we do. We get together. Everybody signs up to audit a class. Everybody picks a completely different day.
Yeah.
Consecutive days.
Yeah.
So they have to either change what they're doing or hide it for the entire time parents are going in there and auditing it. And I don't think there's any limit on how many times you can go audit your kid's classroom.
There shouldn't be.
Oh, sick of it all.
I remember there was a time, God, this is so vague, but there were people who would sit in the classroom when I was a kid, when I was in 5th grade, 4th grade. I remember there were people, I don't know if they were parents.
That was my father.
Was it probably in St. Louis at Washington Elementary?
Probably not. But he did it.
But I do remember people sitting in the back of the room quite often.
They were probably parents, Ken.
Great. That would have been great.
And they should do that now. Classrooms should have cameras that
Why
any
not?
parent can watch or review.
Just make it to where you don't see the kids so much, but you see the teacher.
Uh-huh.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
Talking about colonialism, except the Indians were stealing the land from it. Her Indians took over. It's a word there missing, Vicky, but yeah, you're right. To be fair, the Spanish stole the land in California. We stole it from the Mexicans. Jelly Roll had those lib turds in the room squirming. I loved it.
Well, no, to be correct about this, there was a war about that.
Oh, sorry. You're back one.
The Mexican.
Yeah.
There was a war and we won it.
Yeah. That's not stealing, it's winning a war.
Yes.
And we bought a lot of what we got, right?
Yeah.
Manhattan, $24.
But Mexico was conquered by someone else before that.
Right.
Okay, so
shut up
what I'm
about
saying is everything has ever been human-based, living on top of it is called the land,
right?
And it's all been conquered before.
It's so stupid. Jelly Roll had those lib turds in that room squirming. I loved it. Jelly Roll had a Bible talking about faith at the Grammys last night. Some dumbass lib turds tried to say Melania wasn't the best grossing in a decade because there weren't many documentaries. God, they're the worst. I swear to God. Susan Welker is not a journalist. She's a left-wing activist. That's our friend Paul. Happy birthday, Allison. Everybody says happy birthday, Allison. Happy birthday! Thank you, everyone. I love my News Talk STL Vic Head family. You know what? You're the best. Vic is Shen Yun. Ken is Yoon. We should run a promo for the next. Vic is Shen. Ken is Yoon. The beauty of the show is the dance. Rock on, guys. Shen Yun. All right. Shen Yun, woo!
Shen Yun, woo.
One time.
Vic. Yo, Vic.
Hi. One time, Ed Stoit had a thing on Shen Yun on Facebook that he tagged me in, and all I answered was, woo. And he laughed.
Woo!
Woo. Good morning, fam bam. Good morning, Kathleen. Love you. Happy Groundhog Day. You can be doing it 30 years and still be wrong. Don't know what you're talking about there, Gene. I'm so sorry. Give us some context. I'll replace bumper stickers. And did we ever get Vic Head stickers? Where do I order them? Ken?
So I told, and if you listen to read my reply.
Oh, sorry. There's no reply. I'll find it. It's down lower.
Yeah. What I said is that's something I want to take on, is getting us some Vic Head stickers.
I'm all about it. They don't have facts, so they use sound bites we love in an episode of The Simpsons. Think of the children, but don't take my right as a man-woman to abort my baby. There is significant distinction between legal migrants and undocumented or illegal immigrants. Many of us have parents or grandparents who are legal immigrants. There's substantial difference between the two. Absolutely right. Tell that to your favorite local lib. Was they protesters? Were they protesters or reimbursed for being part of the resistance? They're all getting paid. Right?
I believe, yeah, a good majority of them. They estimated something like 10,000 that were in that weekend parade. That's a lot of people that are getting paid.
Yes. I'm a grandparent of an immigrant. Kathleen, thank you. Are they getting the same treatment as the J6ers?
I'm the grandson of an immigrant.
Me too. I'm a grandson of two immigrants. They Ray Epps J6s. LOL.
Let's see. I'm the great grandson of a Native American.
Wow. I'm the great grandson of an Italian. My poor diesel engine wants some warm weather. Boy, everyone's does. Terris Todd is correct about how they want to keep relevance. Happy Monday, Vic Ken. How can Senator Murphy be so dumb and make the comments he's making about illegals coming into this country that 70% of them are not breaking the law? The guy isn't educated enough to be a senator. This is how much voters care about our country.
And I hope the point wasn't being lost on everybody that we're trying to make there. Like, he could just say anything he wanted to.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
They're out there killing everybody on the streets right now live. I mean, he could have said that. It would have been like the same effect.
I can't believe I missed the video of ICE tear gassing elementary schools.
We both missed it.
Boy, that video must have...
And I heard they had flamethrowers on them, too.
Did you see Mondami is being protested for lying? You know what? New York, you wanted to have this experiment? Good luck to you.
Baby.
Go
get it.
Good morning, so Scotty Downey, our Navy chief.
Morning, St. Louis.
Good morning.
Thank you, Navy Chief.
Wait till I say it. Jensen, fellow Vic Heads. Happy February, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Navy Chief.
There we go.
Navy.
Best documentary in a decade. Thank you. Today marks 13 years since we lost Chris Kyle. Wow. And Chad Littlefield while they were trying to help another vet with PTSD.
This is taking forever.
No. Do the Somali waltz while eating bananas and rice.
Oh, yes.
Good morning. I would love a Vic Head sticker. When we get him, Jason. Hey, Jason. Jason, welcome, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
And oh my God, and a great granddaughter of a Native American. You and me can make beautiful music together.
Shut up. Shut your face.
You know what? I'm sick of the women pushing me around in the studio. I really am. I've had enough of that. All right. I think we got a lot accomplished today, Ken.
I think we did.
Mike Archer and Jane Puszkar.
Live and local.
Live and local, baby. Number one for live and local conservative talk. Thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Jamie Allman and the 3 Martini Lunch.
The award-winning
Jamie Allman is next. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you, everybody.
Whoosh.
Hey everybody, Senator Eric Schmidt here, inviting you to the statewide Lincoln Day celebration, February 20th through the 22nd. It's going to be a great weekend with fellow patriots. We'll talk about how we're going to continue to save this country, deliver on President Trump's agenda, and also celebrate America 250. So join us there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Learn more about the 2026 Lincoln Days and get tickets at Missouri.gop. That's Missouri.gop. Paid for by the Missouri Republican Party. Jennifer Finch, Treasurer.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. That's 800-439-7851.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. North Carolina and other states in the southeast are trying to recover from a bomb cyclone that dropped inches of snow all over on Saturday and Sunday. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein.
People out working overtime to try to clear as much snow today as they can. But our fear is that with temperatures staying below freezing today and much of tomorrow, many roads will be bad in many places across the state for days to come. We have a lot of miles of road in North Carolina, so it's going to take some time. And we're asking for your patience as our teams work around the clock to clear the roads.
Even Florida got some flurries, and the entire region has been dealing with record low temperatures. President Trump says the Kennedy Center in Washington is set to close for 2 years for renovations.
The president has complained that D.C.'s Performing Arts Center is tired, broken, and dilapidated and needs an overhaul. He announced on social media that the center will close on July 4th and construction would begin. Since taking office last year, the president has installed himself as chairman of the famed Kennedy Center and added his name to the facility. In recent months, there's been a wave of cancellations by leading performers, musicians, and groups.